Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome into the 8th round of the 2023 RaceFactory Gaming National Championship live here on Start Your Systems. My name is Kellen Brower, soloing it in the booth this week. No Andrew Wood. He unfortunately cannot make it down. A little bit too busy schedule for him this week. So we're going to solo cast it tonight a little bit, have some fun. And it's Washougal this week, and it's going to be a lot of fun because we're going to have a two-stroke challenge race actually happening amongst the championship that we have going on. We'll talk about the championship here in a minute, but another fun thing that's happening tonight is there's actually going to be that same two-stroke challenge that we're going to see this weekend with the 250 two-strokes racing in the 450 class for a lot of money put up by Red Bull and KTM, Gas, Husqvarna, and Moto Memes. Is also happening a little bit smaller version in MX Simulator, and a big shout out to Aaron Rockefeller and a couple other people for putting that together. So there's a prize pool up for grabs, and I think we're going to see a lot of 252 strokes on the track here tonight racing in that 450 class. So we'll talk about that when we get there. But first of all, what we need to talk about is the qualifying times rolling into tonight, because Payson Johnson has once again laid down the gauntlet, a 2:14.845 in this 450 class. Alexis Leclerc closer this week, though. He was not that close at Spring Creek, and a 2:16.85 for the fast Frenchman. So a 2-second gap there. Payson Johnson looking awful fast. Eaglin, Lang, Cooper Hunt inside of the top 5, and it looks like we will have a consi. A lot of guys running lap times in the 450 class this week. 250 class sees Seth Shirley top the timesheets this week with a 2:19.132. Cade Matherly on a 2:20.0. Braden Tharp on a 2:20.3, and then into the 2:21s and onward with Whelan, Balzer, Padani, Seth Carr, Logan Leitzel, Alec Horn, and Jack Gatlin. So that is our qualifying times rolling into tonight. Let's take a look at our championship standings rolling into this evening. If you remember last week, it was a very rough first moto for Payson Johnson, and Alexis Leclerc tailing him all the way through in that second moto gave him the championship lead as he left Spring Creek with the overall victory. So it's a 2-point advantage now for Leclerc. They have certainly distanced themselves from the rest of the pack. Tyler Lang 36 back of Leclerc at this point in time, and then you're seeing some of those other battles develop down the field, but it is all on at the front of the field here. 4 rounds to go, 8 motos left. Leclerc versus Johnson. Hope you guys are ready for that one. It's going to be fun. 250 motocross, though, still pretty close here as well. Cade Matherly is up 8 points on Seth Shirley. And Logan Leitzel still just 20 points back of both of them after winning that second moto last week at Spring Creek. So he's trying to keep things close. It's a pretty big gap back to Seth Carr now in 4th after Carr did not make the motos last week. But we've got a good championship battle shaping up in both the 450 and 250 divisions. And it all comes to a head here at Washougal. This is one of my favorite racetracks in MX Simulator. It's not everyone's favorite racetrack in real life because it's tough with the trees and the shadows and everything along those lines. But I love this track. It is a lot of fun. Whoops, didn't mean to press that. A lot of fun at this racetrack, and really excited to see what we get here tonight. So it looks like we have a 250. We got a 450 consi. Do we have a 250 consi as well? Yes. So we got 14 riders in both consis here tonight. We're stacking them up, and hopefully we'll see, excuse me, those 2 strokes roll on out. But before we even get to that point, we got to take a look at our consolation races. So let's go ahead and get our proper moto naming up, since we have a consi race coming up. And let's see if I can maybe spin a quick lap on this track, or at least a couple corners. As we go into the first corner here at Washougal, long start straight into a sweeping left-hander. It's kind of going up and down a few rises. It's really tricky to get on the brakes and not slide out going into that corner. And then got to get that corner really good to get the power down, up Horsepower Hill, land on the gas over these rollers all the way up to the very top of Horsepower Hill, 3rd or 4th gear, at least on a 450, if not even more than that, if you can really carry your momentum at the bottom of the hill, over the top, and then into the little roller section in the back right here. Inside single, outside just rolls, and then a downhill drop into this really tricky, it's pretty off camber actually, that U-turn right there. It's kind of deceptive. We'll take it back up through the middle section of the racetrack and drop down right in the middle of the racetrack right here into the switchbacks. This is a very classic section here at Washougal. Down in here, try to get to this inside or middle rut because it flows you immediately into this corner right here. You don't want to be forced too far outside. And then from there, you can see in the middle of the screen right here, it goes down a hill, over a table, back up into the very top over that big road gap. Step up, going to see a lot of guys getting up, down right there. And then coming back down through the trees into the whoops before the finish line jump. And and then over that finish line single, then some switchbacks down at the left-hand corner of your screen, take you all the way back to where the starting line is to complete one lap here around Washougal. Seeing a couple guys saying the quality doesn't look good in chat. Let me know. Not sure if that's on my end or something I can try to clean up right here. But we're rolling into the 250 consolation race to start things off. And if you're just joining us, basically what this consolation race is a last chance qualifier. Everybody that was 37th on back in qualifying is going to be seeded into this consolation race. And only 4 riders from this 14 rider gate go through to the motos. So going to see 10 guys going home right here, and then another 10 riders in that 450 class going home before we start things off tonight at Washougal for those points-paying motos. We'll be with you live all the way through, starting here with these consolation races and going all the way to 450 Moto 2 for about 3.5 hours. Always a good time here on these Wednesday nights, bringing you guys the action. All right, good to see you guys saying all good on your end. All right, Alex, no worries. Just double checking. I don't want to start off the stream on a bad foot here and have some quality issues. I always like to try to get that cleaned up before we actually go racing. All right, so here is a look at our runners in this 250 consolation race. We got Brent Heinzelman, Nathan McLaughlin, Joey Bradstreet, Dylan Cavachuti, Evan Cormack, Harrison Gafford, Ace Enlow, Kyler Hockey, Cole Gress, Brandon Walther, Ryan Swanson, Tom Quino, Austin Schaefer, and Jack Lee will be making up the runners headed to Wisconsin. We are about to kick things off with racing action in this consolation race, starting off your evening here at Washougal. Oh boy, are we ready to see some thundering up Horsepower Hill or what? And taking us all the way through the trees here in the Pac Northwest. So excited to go this weekend. My voice cuts off sometimes if it's a noise canceling software. Interesting. I'll see if I can fix that maybe after this consolation race. So let me know if it's still persisting once we drop the gate. Otherwise, here we go, folks. 250 consolation race is off and running here at Washougal. Everybody up those inside gates. A couple guys getting pinched and 2 guys going in side by side, bounce off of each other. It is going to be Kyler Hockey who's going to get the advantage, and he grabs that hole shot. So up Horsepower Hill the first time, Hockey lead them up the hill, then a freight train of riders behind him. Quino up the inside might actually take the advantage to cut across and into the lead. He will. Up over the top of Horsepower Hill on lap 1 of the Consi. Bouncing through those rollers, and Hockey pirouettes and goes down, and Cavachuti lands on the back of Quino and also goes down, hit his head on that hay bale on the right side of the racetrack, and immediately had a legs off crash. So now Quino skirts away from the field in the early goings here. He gets kicked sideways off the top of the hill and goes down. So now Austin Schaefer is going to take over the race lead as he hops over all of those ruts in the switchbacks. Brent Heinzelman into the 2 ride now with Joey Bradstreet in 3rd and Brandon Walther rounding out our top 4 positions early. Heading back up the hill on lap number 1, side by side for the 4th and final transfer spot. Walther dealing with Harrison Gafford as they launch into the sand section. Our leader, Schaefer, is down. So that's going to put Heinzelman into the lead as we go up and over the big hill. Doolies. Everyone tossing it on that big road step up. Bradstreet going after Heinzelman for the lead. Crossing over in the background, Walther and Gafford nearly came to blows. Hopping over that inside line right there. Man, this is tight. Look at all 4 riders in shot coming through the trees here. Oh, big off right there. That is Walther. Got kicked sideways going up that single jump by the looks of it. He ends up off the outside of the track into the next turn as we cross the finish line, jump to end lap number 1. Heinzelman leading. Joey Bradstreet 2nd. Harrison Gafford 3rd. So that 3 train stays ahead of the group. Cole Gress moves into the 4th spot with Quino after that crash, slipping back into 5th. No, starting to close back up onto Cole Gress. This is the battle for the final transfer spot. Still a lot of racing left to go, of course. We are only on lap 2 of 4. Having crossed that finish line jump, these guys weaving through these kind of back and forth sections down past the mechanics area to scrub over that race tech table through the mechanics area right there. In and out of this corner, back across our Studio 8 hole shot line. Swing it around the outside, get that power down up Horsepower Hill. Quinault's got a great run. He launches out to that single. He's side by side with Gress. Trying to make another pass, back-to-back laps. Quinault up Horsepower Hill, showing him the duties right there as he lays it over at the top. Moves into the 4th position. So the Ambara 44 ride takes over the 4th place from Cole Gress on the Yogi Designs 143, but Gress is fighting back up the inside at the top of the hill. And launching out to flat comes Cavacciuti. Quinault side by side with Gress. Gress to the outside. Turns to the inside. He's going to make that pass back. And, oh, it looks like Quinault may have actually put down Cavacciuti. Cavacciuti gets back up. He is still in 6th. This battle is just raging on. And is it now for 3rd? Actually, it is. Yes, because we have lost one of our leaders. So Heinzelman got away. Gafford is still right here. Gress and Quinault now in the 3rd and 4th. Cavacciuti in 5th. Schaefer, who was down out of the lead on the first lap, is 6th. Bradstreet has slipped to 7th. Just got back around Schaefer. So battles continue to rage on here as now Quinault occupies what is the final transfer spot. Cavacciuti is bringing Austin Schaefer with him. Charge down the hill through the trees to put a close to lap number 2 and head on to the 3rd lap of the race. So this is going to be the halfway point of our consolation race. Heinzelman chasing Gafford through the whoops as Gafford is going to lead this time by. Gress and Quinault in the background. So this little 4-rider train that had developed at the front last lap is developing again with a fresh set of riders. Gafford with Heinzelman right in tow. Gress has caught this group on the 143 and he is bringing Tom Quinault with him. Look at this inside move for Heinzelman in the switchbacks. Right, that far inside rut kind of got hung up a little bit. And look at Quinault to the outside. Is going to make the pass on Gress. He launches to flat. He's going to shut the door and he gets it done. Now Heinzelman a bit of a sitting duck here as Quinault is going to charge to the outside through the hole shot line. And our leader is down. Our leader Gafford hits the deck as Quinault takes over the race lead up Horsepower Hill on lap 3. It is Quinault, Heinzelman, Gress 1, 2, 3 with now Cavacciuti moving into the 4th spot. As Gafford picks it up, battling it out for 5th. Gress still trying to get around Heinzelman. He will down the inside line. And a very nice move by Cole Gress. And now Gress looks like he's thinking about the race lead in the same spot that he got Quinault last time, that outside at the bottom of the off camber. Quinault just cannot figure out what Cole Gress is doing. Now Gress going to charge this outside line again, trying to rip it to the inside here. Cuts to that inside line. Quinault uses the outside. It's a drag race off the top of the hill, and Quinault will hold on to the race lead for the time being. Gress wants to get around him and maybe take off, not let Cavacciuti, who's back there battling it out, get into the picture here. Everything is going on behind these guys. 5 on backwards. So here's Gress up and over the uphill step up. There's Heinzelman and Cavacciuti. Cavacciuti inside of Heinzelman coming up around the corner. Oh, dualies off the top and they crossed over. I think Heinzelman just jumped over Cavacciuti as Gress was picking it up. He had a mistake. So Cavacciuti now into the 3 spot. Heinzelman slips from the lead back to 4th in about 1 lap's time. And Harrison Gafford, who had just coughed up the lead, is now knocking on the door of opportunity again as we come down. This is going to be the white flag waving this time by. As Quinault now leads from Gress, Cavacciuti, Heinzelman, Gafford with Schaefer just behind Gafford as they cross the line. Charging through those rollers. Gafford, is he looking inside? Oh, thought about it, but Heinzelman, I should say, defended that line quite well. Now Gafford's kind of following, goes to that third rut through the corner. Scrubs it down and lands on Heinzelman, and they both go down. That is our transfer positions. So the beneficiary right there is Heinzelman. Not too thrilled with that at all. Out of Gafford, crosses over in front of him. And our beneficiary from that is going to be Austin Schaefer. Was up in a transfer spot early. He is now slipped back out and into transfer. Running in the 4th spot, Ryan Swanson, 37peep.co machine, is trying to close this gap down on the final lap of the race, though. Up Horsepower Hill they go again. As Quino and Gress still going at it out front, and Cavacciuti has caught them. We're going to go check out that battle, actually. See, look at this. Oh, Cavacciuti with a slide out, and he's down off the bike. Rear end planted and high-sided back across. He's going to pick it up just as Swanson gets there. So Swanson into the final transfer spot. Cavacciuti charging to the outside. Turns to the inside here. But Swanson defending all the way through. Now Cavacciuti dropping down the hill right behind him. As Quino pulls away from Gress. Then Schaefer just ahead of these two in the 3 spot. But this is your battle to make it into the motos. Cavacciuti totally threw that one away. Look at him launch as Gress was down. Cole Gress was down out of the 2 spot. In the sand, the 143 loses it. And Cavacciuti tosses it. Filthy on the uphill step up. Oh, and he's down again. He pirouettes and Gress just scoots by. Oh my goodness. Dylan Cavacciuti, you've got to be kidding me. So here we go to the flag. It is going to be Tom Quino crossing the line to win the consolation race here at Washougal. Austin Schaefer brings it through the whoops. He'll finish in 2nd. Ryan Swanson 3rd. And Cole Gress is going to survive and defeat Dylan Cavacciuti, who totally threw that one away. Unbelievable. Nathan McLaughlin, he's going down before the flag. Harrison Gafford's missing out, as will Ace Enlow. Kyler Hockey, Brent Heinzelman, Joey Bradstreet, Brandon Walther, Evan Cormack, Jack Lee, and myself in warm-up will not be in the 250 motos tonight. As Quino takes the win, we're still waiting for a few guys to cross that finish line jump. Nice win for the Ambara 44, Tom Quino. All right, as we said, just waiting for 2 more riders to bring it home. Just waiting to see if penalties will have affected Cole Gress or maybe even Ryan Swanson's position here. Quino is definitely in. That 8-second advantage is plenty comfortable. But 2 on back could always get a little bit wild depending on the penalties applied post-race. Over the line, there they go. And yes, nothing has changed. It is Quino, Schaefer, Swanson, and Gress going through to the motos. Dylan Cavacciuti has fallen just short of making the Washougal National. Alrighty, up next, 450 consolation race. 14 riders going to the line in this one as well. And same story here. Top 4 riders transfer through to the motos. Everybody else will be headed home a little bit early, taking a nice seat on the sidelines and watching the racing, perhaps even with us. Maybe they'll join in the chat room once their evenings are complete. Of course, once we get through this consolation race, then it is time for the true Washougal National, the 4 points paying motos, beginning with 250 Moto 1, 30 minutes plus 2 laps. And then quickly right into 450 Moto 1 after that. Same story, 30 minutes plus 2 laps. Take a very small break as everyone regroups and then come back on the other side of that. With 250 Moto 2 and 450 Moto 2 back-to-back to crown our overall winners here tonight at Washougal. For just joining us, very fun thing happening tonight in the 450 class. Shout out to Aaron Rockefeller, Caleb Hall, I believe, also coming together to put this together. There's a $360 purse up for grabs for the what I would assume we're just calling the Washougal two-stroke challenge, very similar to what's happening in real life. Everybody that elects to race a 250 two-stroke in the 450 class tonight will be eligible to earn this total purse, which is, like I said, $360. The winner, the best two-stroke rider on the night overall, leaves with $180, so that's quite a good chunk of change. Second place gets $90, third place gets $54, fourth gets $25.20, and fifth gets $10.80 to break up our purse for those 5 riders. Shout out to Caleb Hall. He put in $102 to this. Aaron Rockefeller, aka UR, I should say, put in $57. I myself actually put in $50 to the prize pool for fun. Film guy Tom, aka Tom Journey, put in $50 as well. Stubbs put in $36. Luke put in $35. And Steezy Films put in $30 to make up this $360 purse. So shout out to those guys. Going to make it a lot of fun to watch all those two smokes on the track here tonight at Washougal. But again, before we race the Washougal National, we have got to see who makes it out of the races here. Consolation race for the 450 class coming up. 4 laps, 4 riders go through. We are off and running, and one of the two strokes lined up here has got a brilliant start. Let's see if he gets all the way to the first corner in the lead. He does. It's Gustavo Navega of the TDMX, number 262, with the hole shot, putting the two strokes on the map with a good hole shot here at Washougal, getting a little sideways, going up Horsepower Hill on the first lap. He's going to lose that lead because the power goes over to Rogan McIntosh on the 45 Covenant machine. So it's McIntosh from Navega. We also have Zach Fisher, Carl Novak up here. Look at this absolute cluster of riders coming off the top of the hill. 6 or 7 guys in the air off of that small double. It looks like just rush hour traffic at the bottom of this hill right here. Oh, Ethan Olson gets swapped sideways, and he's going to get into Connor Pruitt, the atom.com ride, who ends up going down. But it's still tight-knit in this group. Another rider going down, taking a few with him. So it happens in MX Simulator. You have those early crashes. It really separates the field. So it's now McIntosh from Zach Fisher, Will Canal, and Jack Fowler as Navega went down in the switchbacks. But going down right there was Zach Fisher on the 317. Navega crosses back up. He's going to move back into a transfer spot. He's side by side with Jack Fowler as they whip over the triple. And Fowler himself is going to pass Navega to get back into the 4 spot. Launching into the sand right behind these guys, though. Everyone wants a piece of this 4th position as Jack Fowler holds it down on the first lap of the race. Big around the outside with JGMX on the Wildside Designs program right in the mix. Kevin Gonzalez gets into his rear tire and crosses over. Lucky not to have a complete fall-off crash, but does slide out. Allows Zach Fisher back into 7th. So he's still right behind JGMX. Vega's trying to go after Fowler. That power down, may think inside before the whoops here. Fowler outside, going to jump deep in, but Navega has already made the pass, and he blocked Fowler's line, so Fowler doesn't get a great drive. Here comes JGMX as Navega goes into the final transfer spot. Look at this, JGMX inside of Fowler. Oh, they almost come together. Outside to in. Nope. JGMX going to elect to go the outside right there. It's a lot of time because Fowler really got that inside line well. So Navega pulling back away now in the 4 spot has actually started to catch up to Alex Cunningham in 3rd. Will Canal still in 2nd as pulled away from Cunningham, who's going through the front door nearly on that tabletop. So 1 lap down, 3 to go. In this consolation race, these guys work their way through the first turn and back up Horsepower Hill they go. Now just ahead of Cunningham going up Horsepower Hill. Then Navega on the 2-stroke with Jack Fowler. Right behind him on the 704. Trying to make it into the motos on his inverted Relic Honda. Dropping down into those braking bumps. So actually go on board with Fowler. Haven't seen what this track looks like from first-person view, so you get to follow a 2-stroke around here as it is still Gustavo Navega on the 262 just ahead of him. Side line for Fowler. Turns to the outside right here to carry that speed off the top of the hill. Thinking about an inside move maybe on Navega, but Navega goes across and cuts the line away. Tripling up the hill and then on that rear fender to launch into the sand. Look at Navega to the 4th roller and he's down. Gustavo Navega, too much juice off the big sender into the sand. Lands hard and immediately has a legs off crash. He's down and back into, looks like the 7th spot. Yes, just ahead of Kevin Gonzalez on the 282. Carl Novak just behind them. So JGMX now knocking on the door of opportunity as Jack Fowler has moved into a transfer spot, and Fowler is right on Alex Cunningham, who's doing a great job on the 992 ride. McIntosh out ahead to a 5.4 second lead over Canal, who's working through those whoops just ahead of Cunningham. What a save by Cunningham through the front door, nearly rode the nose over a few of the whoops and then into a hay bale and somehow did not go down. Keeps it on the gas and is in the 4 spot as Fowler goes by, but here comes JGMX. Fowler, Cunningham, and JGMX 345 on your screen right here. One of these guys not in a transfer spot right now. JGMX launching out to the flat off of that inside single jump right there. Oh, and you Air just letting us know in chat that the purse is up to $400 total dollars now. Do me a favor, Aaron, and DM me in Discord the updated purse information, please. I have your message open. That's what I'm keying off of. So if you give it to me again, just let me know the updated information. Is that Rockefeller or McIntosh, I should say, is down? McIntosh out of the race lead has lost a lot of positions in very quick succession, from 5 seconds ahead to 6th place in one foul swoop. So that changes it to Will Canal leading on the 824 Wonderbread Boys Honda. So he drops down. Now it's Fowler in the 2 spot with JGMX in 3rd and Cunningham in 4th. So Cunningham is going to settle in behind these boys as they continue to battle it out. Hopefully just kind of file in. Got a big gap behind him, so can maybe settle into a bit of a pace. This guy's got to be careful as I say that. Cunningham too deep into the sand. Instant fall off crash. Might pick it up still in 4th, though. He will actually. Zach Fisher just going to go by. So Fisher into the 4th spot now as Cunningham is going to jump back in right behind him. And don't forget about Rockefeller. Or not Rockefeller, I keep saying that, but it's McIntosh. Just keep seeing Aaron Rockefeller's name in my Discord, so that is throwing me off. But it is McIntosh now closing up on Cunningham and Fisher. This is 4, 5, 6. So only one of these riders will make it through as we come to the white flag this time by. Inside line Cunningham, outside Fisher. Fisher crossing over. Back and forth we go a little bit. Fisher holds on. Cunningham is right there, and Rogan McIntosh would love to get around both of them after throwing away the race lead, and Cunningham into the back there of Fisher. Stacks it up, goes down, and nowhere to go as McIntosh just files in right behind him, has to come to a complete stop. Now going by Nick Langstrip. Makes it through, then he tucks the front end and goes down. So Fisher's getting away scot-free here. Bit of an advantage to work with JGMX all by himself. Jack Fowler also all alone. And speaking of all alone, our race leader, Will Canal, is gone. up and over the top of Horsepower Hill. Nobody in sight behind him. This is a really nice feeling in a consolation race. Winning anything on the professional level is always a good feeling. Even if it's a consolation race, you still won a something on the pro level. And to win it by a little bit of a substantial margin and not have to feel any pressure is also a really nice benefit to that. So it's JGMX still back here in second. Fisher third, and Fowler, who was in the 2 spot, went down, it looks like, because he has now got McIntosh right behind him. McIntosh almost goes over the bars coming down the hill. He is pushing. He wants to get around Fowler. The 704 machine is going to defend this position to the flag. Good inside move right there. Turns to the middle rut right there. Really smooth there for Fowler. Off the top of the hill. Outside. Cutting back across. McIntosh nearly alongside. Is alongside as we jump into the sand. Fowler crosses over in front of him and goes down. Oh, this launch into the sand is killing way too many guys here tonight, and Fowler bites the dust. Next, McIntosh gets away. Fisher, JGMX now on Canal for the race lead, but Canal looks like he'll hang on with just a few turns left to go. JGMX late charge here, and I think Canal made a big mistake. That's why he's on him. But 1 corner to go. Got to get through these whoops clean. Bouncing through. Oh, he is down and off the bike. JGMX wins the consolation race as Will Canal throws it away at the flag. McIntosh crosses in third, and Zach Fisher is going through to the motos in fourth. Ethan Olson and Kevin Gonzalez side by side to the flag. They hit each other, and neither of them make it across the line. It's going to be Gonzalez who stayed on 2 wheels, crossing in fifth. Ethan Olson looks like he'll end up in the 6th spot. Carl Novak 7th. Connor Pruitt 8th. Jack Fowler in the sand, disconnected in 9th. Alex Cunningham 10th. Langstrup 11th. Gustavo Navega out of this one in 12th. Ryan Anderson 13th. And myself in warm-up mode, missing out on the motos here tonight. JGMX picking up the dub here in the 450 consolation race. One more rider to cross, and those penalties are in, and top 4 stay the same. It is going to be Fisher, McIntosh, Canal, and your race winner, JGMX, going through to the motos, coming up here in just a few moments. But of course, next up, 250 Moto 1 ready to hit the racetrack. And 8 points in it between Cade Matherly, who won his first career national here last year at Washougal, and Seth Shirley, who just came off of winning the 250 West Supercross Championship indoors. Really, I don't feel like you can forget about the fact that reigning champion Logan Leitzel is only 20 points back of those guys, and maybe has some momentum rolling off of winning the second moto last week at Spring Creek. So we're about to see some fun battles here in this 250 class coming up. As we're going to get a lineup check here in just a moment, get a little parade lap action in, move into the motos shortly after that. Sit back, folks. We're about ready to go racing here tonight at Washougal. All right. Sorry, just taking a break there for a minute, trying to save my voice for the action we're about to have in 250 Moto 1. And great to see a lively chat room here tonight. Hopefully we get a little bit more liveliness when we get those two strokes on the track in 450 Moto 1 coming up. But thanks so much, everybody that's tuning in. And yeah, I did see someone in chat asked, how do you show FPS in game, Kellen? I think it was Jackson Hollander say that. And yeah, all you have to do is hit T on your keyboard. It opens up the chat menu. And then you put /toggle FPS, so TOGGLE FPS, all one word, and hit enter, and it'll show up. There's a few different tips and tricks that you can do in MX Simulator like that. You can do toggle, I think it's toggle speed, all one word, /toggle speed, shows your speed in game, /toggle ping, to show your ping and your offset. Let's see what else there is. There's /toggle time, I think, which is also to show how much time has surpassed from the start of the moto. It's a really good tool to use when you're racing so that you know how much time is maybe left. It's a lot of them. And yes, as Hubbard says, /toggle graph for suspension guys, to keep an eye on your suspension arcs and how stiff you need to make those forks. You're just blowing through the stroke everywhere. Yep. /toggle spy to spectate. I don't know about the /toggle decals. I'm guessing that is what a lot of people use to do more or less the Play-Doh racing, which is where you can see the lines a lot better from shadows. There's no decals that are misconstruing you. All right, about to get loaded in. It always takes a little bit of time here to load in everything when I have all the skins. Good morning, TTV King Soul 420. Says good morning from Australia. Hope you all are having a great day. I'm having a fantastic day, King Souls. I'm so excited to go to Washougal this weekend. Have a great weekend planned with all my buddies. What you got for me? You got muffins? Yeah. All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. A little bit hot, yeah. As my daughter brings me up freshly cooked muffins. Chocolate chip muffins. All right. Bye-bye. Always good to have a guest appearance. And always good to have a little bit of muffins. Good stuff. All right. I am in, so I don't need to do that again. All right. Lineup check. 250 class. Jack Gatlin, Nick Niles, Christopher McPherson, Emmanuel Cepeda, Seth Shirley, Dominic Paolini, Austin Schaefer, Colin Allen, James Williams, Race Cobble, Ryan Swanson, Cole Gress, Braden Tharp, Evan Holt, Johnny Padani, Tyler Nichols, Logan Leitzel, Sonny Spicer, Caden Speck, Austin Partolo, Bryce Whelan, Jake Kazarian, Lucas Bruin, J.R. Reyes, Alec Horn, Rasmus Balzer, Ryan Chelsea, Liam Rowella, Marcondes Faitosa, Seth Carr, Tom Quino, Jeremy Schiabro, Hayden Stevenson, Noah McLaughlin, Cade Matherly, Evan Vanderkoy, and Tanner Rogers. For the whole shot, I'm going Logan Leitzel. I don't know if you're here tonight, efforts, but I'll pick Logan for the whole shot. And we are ready, folks. 30 minutes plus 2 laps. The best 250 racers in the world on one of the best tracks in the USA right here, Washougal. I'm ready. I hope you guys are. And let's see if we get loaded in. A-OK. Loading script done. Come on. Oh. There we go. All right. Perfect. Just wanted to make sure we were in. All right. Here we go, folks. It's time to drop the gate here in the Pacific Northwest. Will Cade Matherly keep the red plate, or will Seth Shirley take it over? Here we go. Matherly controls it into the first corner. Will he control it out? He just barely is not going to get the Studio 8 hole shot. That's gone to Caden Speck. Matherly down the inside trying to take the lead, but Seth Carr around the outside is going to take it over going up Horsepower Hill. It's Carr, Matherly, and Speck 1, 2, 3 side by side, up and over the top. Speck trying to take it back. Matherly to the outside might actually get it away from Carr as he retakes the lead around the outside, and those red plates shine bright out front. It's Cade Matherly leading. Off the top of the hill with Carr and Speck still side by side into this tricky off-camber corner. And another Yamaha on the 35 back there. I think that's Balzer, who's got a great start. Speck moves around Seth Carr. He's into the 2 spot as they drop off the hill. Inside line, Matherly outside Speck. Matherly blows the inside and Speck takes the lead. Caden Speck has taken the lead. He's still side by side with Cade Matherly. It's Caden Speck out front. Outside versus inside. Matherly gets it right back, and Carr has a great drive up the inside. He's gotten around Speck as well. Floating off of this single jump into the sand. Hard landing. Seth Carr all over the 25 machine out front as we hit the big step up jump on the first lap. Matherly, Carr laying it over huge. It's Matherly who retains the lead as they drop off the hill, landing slightly off the track to apex into this inside line. Got back across. Look at that. Carr hip jump down the inside. This is the inside right here through this section. Matherly using that outside berm to his advantage, though. Carr's just kind of taking the shortest route while Matherly is taking the smooth long ways around into the whoops at the end of lap 1. Matherly on top of him quite well. Carr's trying to pull alongside, but it's Matherly who leads the first lap. Carr right in tow behind him. Speck battling it out with Balzer in the 3 spot. His 4-rider train already starting to open up a bit of a gap on the rest of the field. Seth Carr looks like he wants to figure out any way possible to get around the 25 out front right now. Seth Shirley, meanwhile, is in 22nd place after 1 lap, so a tough start for our championship contender there on the 44. An eye on where our championship, defending champion, I should say, Logan Leitzel is. Launching out to flat is Seth Carr, man. He is putting the pressure on that Twizy. 25, Matherly a slide out, and Carr to the outside, turns across, cuts to that middle rut, and takes over the race lead. Seth Carr out front. Up Horsepower Hill we go. So does Matherly settle in here knowing that Shirley's well down the order, or does he just try to go after the race lead again? Doesn't want to get mixed up and go down with Carr, but also these guys are starting to get away a little bit. Balls are coming with them, and then a 5-second gap already back to Tharp. Quinot out of the LCQ is in the top 5. Caden Speck went down. He's in 6th now. Niles Vanderkoy, F-move, straight out of MX Bikes into the top 10 here at Washougal. Rogers and McPherson rounding out our top 10. So where is Logan Leitzel? Looking for the 1 machine. Wow, 37th. Logan Leitzel, according to chat right now. Terrible start for him. Seth Shirley's into the top 20 now. He's up to 18th. And his best friend is his fellow name holder, Seth Carr, leading this thing and taking points away from Cade Matherly. I don't think Matherly's out of the woodworks just yet here. Rasmus Balzer is closing this gap down. The Filton Racing number 35. And Balzer is just laying it over. I feel like this is a good track for Balzer. High speed. Not a lot of roll resistance on the traction because it's a little bit more blue group stuff that we normally see in Washougal. Some jumps that you can scrub and really carry some good momentum on. Plus whoops. Balzer is a Supercross champion for a reason. He loves whoops. And carrying that speed through those right there onto the rear tire of Matherly. So 2 laps down. A lot of time left on the clock, though. We have not even hit 5 minutes yet. Just as quickly as Balzer started closing up on Matherly, I feel like Matherly kind of stretched it back out a little bit. And instead of him getting closed down on, might actually be closing back up to Seth Carr out front just a little bit. Different line options right there. Balls are outside versus far inside there for Matherly, but then they all funnel to that second rut, trying to get the power down, going up Horsepower Hill. His car continues to lead the race. Matherly second, Balzer third, and then there is Tharp in fourth. All these Yamahas out front right now, but not all teammates. In fact, 3 different teams, 1, 2, 3 right now. It's only Covenant riders that are repeating 1 and 4 right now. Then Tom Quino out of the LCQ is in 5th. Tanner Rogers right there was 6th, ahead of Nick Niles, 7th. 8th for Speck, 9th for Vanderkoy, and then McPherson rounds out our top 10. Seth Shirley is already into 12th, and he is weaving through this group of riders as fast as he possibly can. Right behind Cepeda and McPherson, who are jumping down this hill nearly side by side. Shirley inside, going to make the pass on Cepeda into 11th. But off this hill, got to be careful with that. That little kick off the top right there can just ruin your night. Shirley does a great job of just kind of leaning into it, using the momentum of the machine to throw what looks like an Oppo whip out there. And McPherson trying to pass Vanderkoy. Vanderkoy fights back. Launching out into the sand. Wow, look at that. That was Colin Allen. Off RIP waitlist. So I'm guessing he's not on Phil's anymore, as they both get around McPherson. So Shirley into the top 10. He's bringing Colin Allen with him. And now trying to get around Vanderkoy into 9th. Inside right here. Might cut across to take that line. Vanderkoy sees he's there. Not forcing the issue, and instead kind of let Shirley go, it looks like, as Shirley moves into 9th. No sense in fighting too hard for a position like that early in the race. So Shirley into 9th now behind Tanner Rogers. And you can kind of see how far the gaps extend from there. I mean, big gap up to basically our leaders. Our front 4 have gotten away quite far already. Battle for second is on, though, and not too far off of our leader. Seth Carr just rolling up the hill on the 13, but balls are all over Cade Matherly right now for the 2 spot. So even though Matherly won this race last year, gets the whole shot in this one, doesn't really look like he's feeling the mojo right now in the motos. He's riding well, but it just seems like Carr and Balzer have just a little bit more in hand, but they also might be riding a little bit more on the edge. Could have some crashes because of that. Balls are just on Matherly coming down the hill right here. Look at this. Going to charge to the outside. Momentarily takes the position. Turns to the inside right here. And does not get the pass because Matherly used the outside to his advantage. That was actually really nice of Balzer. He could have cut across the lines through the switchbacks and blocked Matherly from going to the outside of him right there. But he played it square. He took his inside line. Let Matherly carry all that momentum around the outside and maintain the position. Excuse me. Balzer is certainly feeling it, man. He is whipping that uphill step up lap after lap. Scrubbing off the top of the hill right there. This is what it's like to be right behind your points leader as we weave down the hill at Washougal. Looks like inside, kind of going roll 2, 3, 3, 4 through the whoops is what these guys are trying to get done. As Balzer lays down a 24.8, 24.9 for Matherly, 24.2 for Carr. So all these guys in the 24s, but Carr's best lap is actually in the 22s. And this also gives you a good indication, upper right-hand corner of your screen, how far ahead the front 4 riders are. As really Tharp, who just went 22.7, fastest on the track right now, is kind of catching up to this group a little bit. We might have a 4-rider battle out front before long if Tharp continues to eat away at this while Balzer and Matherly battle each other. It's kind of pushing them back to Tharp, but they're still not losing Carr out front. And then you see just how far of a gap it is back to 5th and onward, which is still quite a bit of a freight train back there. And Balzer just made a pretty big mistake, so now Matherly has some breathing room finally. And you see Tharp in the background going up Horsepower Hill. So it is Spec in 5th. Still holding on for the 89 Phil's Kawasaki. And Shirley is all the way up to 6th. Man, he is moving 23.6 last time by for the 44 machine. And unfortunately for him, he's about to come into the fact that he's got a lot of time to make up if he gets into 5th. Meanwhile, Matherly is on to Carr for the race lead. So the little gap that Carr had established has evaporated. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe a small tip over or even swap could have cost him that much time. One, two, three on the racetrack, pretty much all in the same frame and in the air off the same jump at the same time with each other. As Balzer seems to be the fastest of the three. I mean, I know Carr ran the fastest lap of the race. Balzer at this stage of it right now is really looking strong. And Matherly has done such a good job of keeping Balzer behind him. It's almost given him maybe a little bit of extra boost of speed at this stage. Outside line, trying to turn it to the inside, not quite close enough. Is everyone going inside here still? No. Carr is going outside. Inside for everybody else. So inside, Matherly hopping through. Might actually make the pass to the flag. We go. And Cade Matherly has taken back over the lead momentarily. But then Carr uses the inside to his advantage to get it back. 3 riders going at it. Now 2 as Carr goes down out of the lead. Seth Carr leads for 4 laps of this and puts it on the deck. So Matherly takes it over again. And now he has got Balzer to deal with in what was a battle for second. Now it's a battle for the lead. And that right there for Carr just turned into a little bit maybe too much overthinking what's going on behind him. Got back around Matherly over the finish line jump. Went defensive on the inside in the next corner. And just a little bit too late on the brakes. Had that front tire push right over the inside rut. And down he went. So now Matherly has clean air in front of him. And it looks like it's helped him kind of put the hammer down a little bit because Balzer is no longer right on him. He's still right there, but not basically on his rear fender anymore. These two trying to stretch away. Tharp moves to 3rd, Carr 4th, and Shirley is now into the top 5 with a 2:23.1 last time by for his best lap. This has been a really good job of Shirley to weave forward. 22nd we saw him at the end of lap number 1. We are now 13 minutes into this race and he's into the top 5. That's just a solid job of taking each position as it comes to you, not overriding it, not pushing too hard, but making up a lot of time in quick succession. Matherly scrubs it down over the MXS Lobby triple. Balzer scrubs it off of the single even harder than Matherly put it down on the triple. This is your battle for the lead, folks. Oh, Balzer lays it over huge. He's thinking inside here at the top of the hill. Matherly just uses that outside to his advantage and rips it. But Matherly keeps going off the track right there. I wonder if Balzer is honestly looking at that as like I don't need to pass him. He's getting penalties landing out there. Miss even one timing gate, you get a few penalties for doing that. Inside for both of them into the whoops again to come down and complete lap number 6. Still Matherly from Balzer. And then a big gap now has established back to 3rd place, which is Carr again. I think he got back around Tharp. All eyes on the battle for the lead right now, though. Oh, Matherly missed the rut, and Balzer takes advantage. So Balzer nails that inside rut in the switchbacks, and it comes down to a tiny slip-up. I mean, fractions of a second lost, but when you're this close to each other, those fractions matter. Matherly back inside going up Horsepower Hill. He's going to try to get the drive, land on that rear tire. He's nearly alongside of him. Oh, Balzer through the front door and down. Oh, the rear tire just caught at the very tip top of the hill and sent him into a nosedive. He rejoins right amidst this battle for second between, that's Carr on the 13, and now he's sandwiched between the two Covenant guys. Tharp on the 20. Down the outside. Might turn this to the inside to pass into third, and he does as he crosses over in front of Balzer. Boy, that was close. Balzer trying the inside line right there, but it just doesn't work as Tharp holds position. And then Shirley bringing it up in 5th place right now behind these guys. Let's stick with this battle for just a minute. Looks like it is pulling apart now as Balzer is getting away and setting sail after Carr. Now this is really Matherly's race to lose. He was running more or less the pace of Carr and Balzer. I don't know. Carr is flying right now. He's got this thing down to 7 seconds. Curious to look at lap times this time by. Take a look at lap times this time by as we come into these whoops. Double in, triple again, triple single out. 25.7 versus 28.3 Matherly. Those are odd laps. Balzer goes 34.5, 27.4 out of Tharp, and 23.7 Seth Shirley, the fastest rider on the track right now, is the man in 5th place. And he continues to stay in those 23-second range lap times. 2:23, I should say. Of course, they're all after the 2-minute marker. And then this battle's still going heavy for second between Balzer and Carr. This Balzer scrubs down that table. He's trying to get to the inside. Carr is going to go defensive. Wow, Balzer's still stuck that far inside line. I didn't think he'd get there. Oh, our leader's down. Our leader is down. Cade Matherly down all by himself in the corner after the hole shot line, going up Horsepower Hill, and he has no drive. So here comes Tharp. Wow. Second week in a row, we see our leader with those red plates of Cade Matherly down out of the race lead, coughing it up as he lost the first moto to Shirley last week in the similar manner. Now that puts Seth Carr back into the lead. Balzer second, Matherly now third with Tharp right on him. And don't forget, Seth Shirley, who at one point was 22nd while Matherly was leading this race, is now just 4 seconds behind him as he drops down the hill into the switchbacks. Pretty incredible ride here for Shirley to even get here, and he can see those red plates ahead of him of Matherly. That is going to be our championship battle amidst this unbelievable battle still going on for the win in this first moto. Oh, Matherly's down again. He's down on the top of this jump. What a weird spot. As he gets going again, I was like, that's weird. The camera switched to him, but he's not there. And that is why he was down. So Shirley is now ahead of Matherly and is still, I believe, the fastest rider on the track. Let's check in this time by. Shirley goes 24.2, 26.2 Tharp, 27.5 Balzer, 25.3 Seth Carr. Shirley right now going about 2 to 3 seconds faster than everybody on the track. And this is what it's like to be on board with your fastest qualifiers. He's running the leaders down. This is incredible. I'm going to sit back, kind of watch this for a minute and enjoy this. Unbelievable. Now Shirley goes down. Just as we get on board to spec him, he hits the deck, and Matherly goes back by. These guys are playing musical championship points at this point. So Matherly back ahead of him in what is provisionally going to be a 10-point advantage if it were to finish like this. But I want to go through the order a little bit here because Caden Speck still back here in 6th. You got Quinones 7th, Rogers 8th, Cepeda 9th, and Leitzel has clawed all the way from 39th to 10th, and now he's down again. Gonna pick it up still in 10th, or at least side by side for the position. He'll cross over and looks like he'll keep it. But yes, Leitzel is in 10th. Unfortunately for him, he's got a long road ahead of him to start making some passes. Battle for the lead is on. Seth Carr versus Balzer. Nose to tail coming through that corner. Balzer, scrubbing that single so beautifully. Gosh, he is really flirting with getting close to these guys' rear tire. And again, scrubbing heavy on the big uphill step up. Trying this inside line again, but that outside is just the move. Outside to inside here. Has to check up to not hit Carr. Carr will bring it down. Looks like to lead yet another lap. We are down within 10 minutes, plus 2 laps of this race still to go, and the battle out front appears to be relentless. Carr, Balzer, Tharp, 1, 2, 3 in line as they cross the line right here. And then a pretty good sizable gap back to 4th, which is still Cade Matherly, our championship leader, just ahead of his championship rival Seth Shirley. So what we're seeing at this point is a battle out front that has no championship implications, but could be big for race victory implications as Balzer tucks the front end, and down he goes. It's a Covenant 1-2 as we switch back to the battle for 4th because Shirley is right behind Matherly for the 4 spot. So Carr and Tharp, Covenant, 1-2 out front, 4 seconds between them. Balzer slips to about 9 seconds back, and then we're watching this battle here. 3 seconds back of Balzer for 4th between Shirley and Matherly. So let's go on board with Shirley again from where he crashed last time by and see if we see this battle materialize. Good gravy. That was unbelievable how close that Shirley was getting to him, and then kind of slid out coming into the whoops right there, so has to go back at it again to close the gap down. But it seemed like any second he was sizing up the opportunity to make that pass stick and just wasn't close enough to make it work yet. Great onboard action, though, and perspective to see what it's like just to even be in this battle. Get your heart race rolling in a hurry. So back to our race leaders. We are about to hit the 25-minute mark of Moto number 1 here in the 250 class at Washougal, round 8 of the RaceFactory Gaming MX Simulator Pro National Championship. Seth Carr, Covenant number 13, leads us up and over Horsepower Hill on the 11th lap of this race. He has his teammate honestly closing up on him at this point. Tharp, 226.7, only a 10th gained last time by, but this gap is down under 2 seconds, and it feels like Tharp is going a little bit faster right now. Been taking some unorthodox lines, just flirting with the edge of the track right there. Outside to in, not quite. Balls are back here. This battle just will not end. Seth Shirley is right behind Matherly again. Now Matherly can see Balzer, so he has a little bit of a carrot to chase in front of him here. Oh, don't you worry, Matty B. There will be 2 strokes in the 450 class. There is $400 purse being put up in this race. Winner of the best 2-stroke in the 450 class gets $200 tonight. This 250 battle right now, it's about as good as it gets between our championship rivals. And momentum is key in this one, it feels, between these two. So can Shirley chomp away a little bit more at that championship picture? Oh, wait a minute. What happened? Where did Shirley go by? Matherly make a mistake before the finish line jump? I didn't even see it. But Shirley has gotten by. That is on me missing that. I don't know how I missed that. Shirley is into the 4th spot and now sets his sights just ahead of him onto Balzer. Launching out to the flat area. Lap time check. He put in a 225.6, 228.4 for Matherly. And our lead battle is on. Holy smokes. Tharp is all over Seth Carr out front. Lapper in the whoops. That's what happened. Oh, inside for Tharp for the lead, and then Amir immediately spins out. So he just finally clawed it away from Carr after catching him lap after lap. Now he looks flustered. He looks like he just spent all that time to get to him and then immediately threw it away. Hopefully that doesn't mean he's about to crash. Now Balzer is lurking in the shadows with Shirley still back there, and Matherly just trying to keep Shirley close, hoping against hope, I guess, that maybe he falls again. How about Tom Quinault? Out of the last chance qualifier, which he won, but it wasn't like he dominated it, and now he's just quietly in 6th this entire moto. Nobody putting pressure on him at the moment. I love that kind of stuff, man. Races his way in and wasn't even in the fast 36 in qualifying and is now just having easy 6th place moto. That's crazy. Bryce Whelan 7th, Caden Speck 8th, Tanner Rogers 9th. Johnny Padani just got laid out by Emmanuel Cepeda, so Cepeda is now 10th. Stevenson 11th, Padani 12th, Gatlin 13th, Reyes 14th, and Leitzel is falling apart. He's back into 16th, or 15th, I should say. So Leitzel did an unbelievable job in the first half of this race, flying through the field, making great passes. Now he has gone stagnant and actually lost ground because of it. So tough break for him. We're down to the final minute of this moto. Time will expire this time by, so we're 3 laps from the end of 250 Moto 1. Braden Tharp is flying, trying to get back to his teammate. Balzer in 3rd, and Matherly has gotten back around Seth Shirley, so Shirley went down 34.5. Yeah, that is exactly 10 seconds slower than the laps he was putting in. So he had a fall-off crash somewhere, and talk about at a terrible time. He has not a lot of time in this race left to catch Matherly again. good news for him is he's got a massive gap back to Tom Quinot, so he could do whatever he wants. He could throw all caution to the wind if he wants. Try to get this win, or to get up to Matherly, I should say. Let's go on board with Tharp because he is railing too. 29 flat, even with that slide out thing that he had. Uh-oh, sideways and down goes Tharp. He's in a weird spot right there. Will Balzer hit him? No, he avoids him. And he'll get going just before Matherly gets there. Here is Matherly on the 25 coming into the frame. Those switchbacks. So now, this is Seth Carr's race to lose. As Balzer moves back to second. Tharp now third. Matherly fourth. Shirley just appearing in the background in that corner. Coming up the uphill triple is fifth. Ripping around the outside like he has this entire moto, trying to close up on Tharp. Maybe get into third. Tharp sends it off of that single. I feel like Tharp has lost the plot. Actually, Balzer is the one who goes down. So it's going to be Tharp into second. Matherly now into third. And fourth now for Balzer. As Carr continues to lead, but not by much. This could get real interesting with 2 laps to go. So 2, 3, 4 on your screen right here. Tharp, Matherly, and Balzer. 4 seconds off of our leader, Seth Carr. You can just hear going the other direction, Seth Shirley, who is 10 seconds off the leader, about 4 seconds behind this group. Just flashing in the background there on his Husqvarna. And that's Balzer with a slide out again. So Rasmus Balzer on the Filton Racing Yamaha having a few mistakes. And now Matherly has started to catch fire at the perfect time. Maybe take advantage of a few of these late mistakes from some of the riders. Seth Carr has a lap and a half to try to hold this thing off. But his teammate Tharp is going to try to stop it. Matherly is going to come with him. Balzer. And right here is Shirley. So Shirley's kind of eating that gap down a little bit. 2.9. Got it under 3 seconds. This is kind of tightening up the entire top 5. The only question is, are they going to get close enough before we get to the checkered flag for any of it to matter? Time is running out in a hurry. We are at zeros on the clock. We only have a lap and a half left to do this. Seth Carr is still in control at the front of the field. Launching out into that sand section. There's Tharp sending it right behind him. Then Matherly, Balzer, and Shirley, who is more or less caught Balzer at this point. And it feels like everyone's just far enough away for it not to get interesting yet. But we really are about to be set up for one heck of a final lap here at Washougal 250 Moto 1. Seth Carr, hold on for this win. Gosh, I feel like at this point, if he does, he's kicking himself that he missed the motos last week. Still was in it for a fighting chance with this championship and might win this first moto here at Washougal. He's got one more lap to figure it out. White flag is in the air for Seth Carr. Here comes Tharp across the line in second. Matherly right there in third. Balzer across the line in fourth. And then Shirley in fifth. That is how close it is amongst our top 5. 227.8 Shirley, 229.2 Balzer, 228 for Matherly, 226.5 Tharp, and 226.6 for Carr. He knows Tharp was coming and is doing whatever it takes to stifle that advance. Lap traffic is about to come into play, though. 3 riders in line right here for Seth Carr. He's going to clear one of them. Excuse me. Through one of the lappers, but then 2 of them are racing each other pretty hard up the hill right here. I think one of them is Evan Holt. Or no, Sonny Spicer, excuse me, on the 95. So where is Spicer in position? Is this going to be for points that he's coming up on? These guys will race a little bit extra hard when it's for those points-paying positions. And it feels like Shirley's just going to run out of time to get to those guys. Not quite eating away at them as much as he was. It doesn't look like that spot that Spicer is in is 4 points. Oh, Evan Vanderkoy was up front early on. He's fallen out of the points. That's a tough look. So it's Blowers and Spicer that they're catching right here. And oh, Seth Carr's backwards. He just did a complete pirouette and now is behind his teammate Tharp on the final lap. Lap rider went down. That was Blowers. Oh, Matherly is right next to him. And look at this. Carr is fighting back immediately. Doesn't want to give this over to his teammate as they both launch into the sand. And Matherly is licking his chops saying, yeah, take each other out. Let me get in there. Dualies. Holy smokes. Big dualies at the top of the hill as Carr gets kind of tossed around, throwing it into the outside line. 3 riders nose to tail coming down to the whoops. It's going to be who can get the whoops the best by the looks of it. They all funnel to this outside, rail the corner. Tharp is in the lead. Over that single jump one more time into the final corner. Who's going to get the drive? In goes Tharp. Carr got a pretty good one, but Tharp is going to be A-okay by the looks of it. Braden Tharp takes 250 Moto 1 at Washougal. Carr finishes second, Matherly third, Shirley gets up to fourth. He got Balzer on the last lap, and Balzer rounds out the top 5. Wow, only separated by about 9 seconds for the top 5. The top 3 were only separated by 1.9 seconds. Oh, crazy moto that was. And those guys were so far gone. From where we're looking at right now, this is a great ride for Caden Speck to get 6th in this one. Oh, Whelan just went over the bars. Huge. So his teammate Rogers is going to go by. Whelan trying to pick it up. He's in a really awkward spot right there, so he's got to back around, get it straightened out, then keep going. So definitely Rogers is going to finish ahead of him. Whelan looks like he'll end up in the 8 ride here in this moto. Stevenson 9th, and Leitzel is 10th. He was battling with Padani, but Padani just went down. Leitzel gets to 10th, and for his sake, I guess you could say, well, Matherly and Shirley didn't score the most points they could have scored this moto. Matherly only walks away with 20, Shirley with 18. Leitzel in 10th is going to walk away with 11 points. He's only lost 9 points, but those 9 points could prove critical right there. Donnie ends up in 11th, 12th for Quinault, 13th for Jack Gatlin, 14th for Lucas Brune. McPherson battling to the line with Emmanuel Cepeda. Teammates. Oh, McPherson blew it. Sideways entry. And Cepeda is going to take it. McPherson ends up 16th, 17th, Colin Allen, 18th, Jeremy Schiavro, 19th, Austin Partillo, and 20th, Ryan Chowsey. AVM looks like he's getting through the rollers fine. He's going to get a point. He's stoked. Even front flips to boot. Almost landed it. Alex Doyle misses out on points, as does Evan Holt. Dominic Paolini, Evan Vanderkoy, J.R. Reyes, Nick Niles, Blauer, Spicer, Rowella, Cobble, Phytosa, Nichols, Schaefer, Kazarian, Horn, Bowser, McLaughlin, all missing out. Let's take a look at penalties. There just yet. Nothing in the top 20. Nothing. Oh! No way! Seth Carr! Seth Carr by 8 1,000ths of a second has won this moto. Tharp had 0.67 seconds of cuts. And Carr gets it by 8 1,000ths of a second. You've got be kidding me for Braden Tharp. That's a killer. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So Seth Carr wins 250 Moto 1. Unbelievable. Crazy. That's the second week in a row as well that the first moto was decided on penalties. Remember, Padani crossed the line first at Spring Creek, but Seth Shirley won it on penalties. And this week it's Tharp, but his teammate Carr, who maybe rightfully so gets the win anyway after throwing it away on the last lap. But Tharp ends up taking the win. Wow. Unbelievable. Well, that's a good way to start our night here at Washougal as we roll into 450 Moto 1. And I guess maybe the thing you all are all here to see. It is obviously the championship battle with Alexis Leclerc up by 2 points on Payson Johnson. That's crazy in and of itself. But tonight there is a $400 purse up for grabs for anybody that's racing a two-stroke. A 250 two-stroke in this 450 class is eligible. Whoever has the highest overall score on a 250 two-stroke takes home $200 tonight. The second highest overall leaves with $100. Third highest overall leaves with $60. Fourth highest with $28. And fifth highest with $13. So literally cash money on the line for these 250 two-stroke guys tonight. And I'm excited for it. I'm loving the fact that we're going to hear all those two-strokes out there riled up going up Horsepower Hill. Curious to see how many there are. I do know that there's probably at least 10 from what I've seen from all the skins I've got today, but maybe even more than that. And quick shout out to all the people that donated to this purse. Caleb Hall put in $102. Aaron Rockefeller, aka U Air in the chat, put in $57. I myself put in $50, and then film guy Tom Journey from Racer X put in $50 as well. So shout out to Tom. Stubbs put in $36. Luke put in $35, and Steezy Films put in $30. There's another $40 that came in. I don't know from where, but shout out whoever that was. And now we get to watch some two smokes here in just a moment at Washougal. All right, let's take a look at all these two strokes. What do we got? And shout out to Gatlin Morrow, who donated $40 to the fund. 12 two smokes is what we're getting from Ryan Anderson in chat. Let's find out who they are. Why not? All right, who's racing two smokes tonight? So we have got Caden from Wonderboy Bread. We got Jeremy Siebold on a two-stroke as well. Neither of those guys are on two strokes. Aaron Rockefeller on the old school two-stroke here. Caden, we already saw him. Wallman, aka Walter Gebhardt. Gary Laser Eyes is on a two-stroke. Jack Healy back this week. Payson Johnson on a two-stroke. How about that? Our championship contender, Matthias Janis, love that throwback look right there. That is sick. JGMX also on a two-stroke. Logan McIntosh on a two-stroke. Frank Jackson's riding a two-stroke. Cooper Hunt is on a two-stroke. Jacob Hubbard of Phil's is on a two-stroke. Luke Sullivan. Oh, that Ezra Lusk look. Oh my god. Anybody else? Nope. There is the red plates aboard our championship leader, Alexis Leclerc, and that is my whole shot pick here going into Moto 1. I can't believe it. Is Payson really about to ride a two-stroke 2 points down in this championship? I think he could probably still top 5, but that's bold given the nature of this championship at the moment. 2 points between him and Alexis Leclerc. And Leclerc's look good, man. He is hungry for this 5th outdoor title. Can't get over how good some of these throwbacks look. That FMF Honda look right there from straight out of the Brock Sellers playbook. This Ezra Lusk look like from Luke Sullivan is chef's kiss. Unbelievable. All right, let's listen to some two-strokes off the start, shall we? They're going to be mixed up with 28 450s, but we'll still hear them, believe me. Yeah, you can't convince me Payson doesn't care about this game. I don't care what you say out loud. You can't convince me. No one plays the game that much and doesn't care. All right, let's go two-stroke racing. Who's going to win that purse? Are we going to see another winner? Here we go. Holy smokes, is that Hubbard? Massive hole shot on the two-stroke into the first corner. Phil Ski and Snowboard Studio 8 hole shot goes to Jacob Hubbard. He's got Jack Haley, Alexis Leclerc, Adam Holm following him up the hill. It's a bunch of Phil's Cowies out front, but Hubbard is the one who comes out with the lead. Into the lead goes Adam Holm and Jack Haley around the outside of him up the hill. Leclerc is trying to get it away from him. It's Holm leading from Haley, though. And a slurry of Phil's bikes out front right now. Oh, Hubbard, front end tuck. And Haley down. Into the 2 spot goes Leclerc on Castellaneta. Castellaneta's trying to fight back. Leclerc inside here in the switchbacks. Castellaneta goes outside to in, playing a really good team player right there, not to force the issue. And it's home from Leclerc. How about a 2018 throwback here at Washougal? These two went to death battles for the 2018 championship, and now they are 1-2 on the racetrack here at Washougal. Castellaneta 3rd, Hall 4th. Johnson is in 5th on the two-stroke. So good start for him. Colby Eaglin 6th, Canal 7th, Jack Mark 8th, Noah Bindis is 9th, with Ryan rounding out the top 10, Cocroft 11th. Hubbard on the two-stroke picked it up in 12th, just ahead of T-Lang. Another rider down at the top of the hill right there. That was Caleb Hall. Down. What the heck bike? Like, I gotta listen to this thing. It's an old school bike, but how did it get those sounds to go with it? Listen to this thing. Oh, stack up right here. Listen to all the two strokes back here too. Oh, he's on a 450 that has the 500 sound mod. Cheeky, cheeky. Oh, and he absolutely murders Luke Sullivan, aka Ezra Lusk. Oh my goodness. Pass for the lead. Leclerc down the inside of Holm. Leclerc takes it over. So this is peculiar with Johnson on the two-stroke. Leclerc is now out front. Johnson has to damage limitation, I guess. I mean, I feel like he can run the pace of pretty much all these guys, but he has to really push the pace on a two-stroke to do it. Listen to Payson work the magic on the two-smoke here for a little bit as he's going to try to go up the inside into 4th. Oh, and he gets crossed. Oh, how did he not crash right there? That is unbelievable that he saved that. so deep out to flat, and down goes Eagland. He is going to lose 2, 3, 4 spots, maybe 5. Yes, 5 spots as Cocroft goes by as well. So Johnson now moves up into the 4th position with that maneuver. Next up, he's going to try to close up on Braden Castellaneta. Adam Holm is in 2nd, still behind race leader Alexis Leclerc. Well, the worst thing for Payson Johnson right now is he's got 3 Phil's riders right in front of him. So even if he wants to make passes, he has to get through Leclerc's teammates to do it. If he still somehow comes out of here with a 2nd place on this 2-stroke, I don't even understand this game anymore. I mean, look, I raced a 252 stroke in 2017 outdoors once. I think it may have been the last race I ever did, and I got 9th in a moto at Unadilla. But it was hard, man. It was so hard to go that fast for that long. Gonna get around Castellaneta, who just made a mistake. So there goes Johnson by Castellaneta. Into 3rd, and next up for him will be Adam Holm. They're working his way over the top of Horsepower Hill. Castellaneta's fighting back. Gets right back by Johnson. That's the difference in horsepower. Up of all places, Horsepower Hill. So fighting back, going to try cutting across to the inside line right here on this drop down. Get to the inside and defend very well to take the position back. Pacing up into 3rd and also winning the 2-stroke challenge very clearly at the moment. I'm going to go back and check where the other 2-strokes are at. I hear them everywhere. The entire track is buzzing. But I want to see if Johnson can get to Holm. Oh my gosh, how does he land that? So I got to know, somebody who's in Payson's camp, how much time he has had riding this 2-stroke before the gate dropped tonight. Obviously, the qualifying lap that he ran was on a 450 to get P1 in qualifying. So he had to have done some laps on a 450, but I assume he also put in some time. All right, outside on Adam Holm into the whoops before the finish. He's gotten away from Castellaneta. Next up, going to try to get Holm. Look at lap times, 2:22.5. Leclerc's 2:20 flat out front. So Leclerc is pulling away at the clip of 2.5 seconds over everybody. Johnson is going faster than Holm. Almost landed on the back of Holm right there. That was close. I thought he actually did land on the back of Holm. But, just narrowly missed. All right, Horsepower Hill. Let's see the difference. It's 4 tenths back. Get to the top of the hill, and he is 8 tenths back. So about a 4 tenths different. 5 tenths because it's 0.9 when he landed. So you lose half a second at least on a 2-stroke, no matter if you're Payson Johnson or not. Going up Horsepower Hill. Outside to in this corner. Holm is going to try to cut across. Johnson really putting the hammer down on that 2-stroke, getting power planted into this corner. He's going to try to get that inside line, and he got it. Holm fights back inside in the next corner and takes it right back, though. And Johnson is trying everything to get around the 17 machine. As Leclerc continues to sneak away. And back up the hill again we go. Oh, we're watching 2-strokes racing. Going fast? No. them. They're battling it out. Oh, Johnson trying to get... I see the yellow one. Look at that yellow one. That's a two-stroke, Holly. He's ripping. Oh, he's going down in the whoops. And he's off the bike. It is going to be Castellaneta going by. Then Lang on the 5 also goes through. Can Eaglin make it by as well? Not quite. He's going to be stuck just behind Johnson now. Oh, and Castellaneta was down. Go back and watch the yellow one. He's battling it out with Colby Eagland. Get inside and stay ahead of the 24. Next up, Adam Holm, whom he was just battling. Holly, here they go up a big uphill. Ready? Oh, they're launching out there and then getting that power down. Eagling up the inside of Johnson. Got him over Horsepower Hill. Up, that's the yellow one. What colors? Pick out the colors, Holly? That's the green one. Yay! Look at this battle. This is a lot of fun. Woo, 3. Holly, which rider's gonna win? Which color? Oh, the blue one? Okay, Colby Eagland for the win. Well, this battle is intense right now. Adam Holm, Colby Eagland, and Payson Johnson going at it for third place. Tyler Lang is up the road in second still. Of course, Alexis Leclerc is our leader, but Eagland has kind of snuck into the frame here. Got around Johnson, trying to go after Holm. Line jump again. I'm doing a really good job of defending. Let's see if he's got a different line picked out. Nope, follows him in there. Out here, inside. Now they're both going far inside right here. Just follow the leader a little bit through here. Inside for Eagland might make it work. Side by side, Holmes scrubs to the outside. Going to turn to the inside off this anthill. And he's going to get to the spot first, but Eagland around the outside, turns to the inside here, and he'll get that pass made. Both of them launching out to flat in the mechanics area. Actually, they have gotten around Lang. Lang went down. So Tyler Lang has slipped back. He was in second. He is now not in the top 5. Lang slipped all the way back to 12th, so he had a big off at some point. Eagland drops down the hill now in the 2 spot. Let's go take a look at some of the 2-strokes. We got Holm there. There is our lead 2-stroke rider, Payson Johnson. Castellaneta 5th, Hall 6th, Noah Bendis 7th, and then Frank Jackson, our second 2-stroke rider, is in 8th. Jack Mark in 9th, and Matthias Janice rounding out the top 10. That is our third 2-stroke rider right there, Janice, just ahead of T-Lang. Hill in front of Lang, and then Hubbard, our fourth 2-stroke rider, in 12th. Jack Haley 13th. He's on 450. Connor Holiak 14th, and Walter Gebhardt. There's our fifth 2-stroke rider right there in 15th place. Shout out to Speedin121 in chat. Got to support some awesome streams, he says, and he donated $9.99. Thanks so much, Speedin. Really appreciate the support. She doesn't want to go to bed. Gonna get ya. Good two-stroke battle brewing right here for the 10 spot, I believe. Hubbard is all over Janice there. Sitting back and enjoying the sweet sounds of those two strokes. Oh, Janice down and Hubbard almost went with him. Kind of swapped into that corner. Got some requests to go back and see the 500. Where is Rockefeller? Is he still on track? Yeah, there it is. 500. Aaron Rockefeller. Just listen to this thing. That sounds so funny. Oh, nailed it. Wow, that thing going up Horsepower Hill is something. I'll tell you that. Sweet looking bike though. I mean, honestly, pink Honda look. Well done. All right, let's go back to actually paying attention to the race a little bit, because Alexis Leclerc is making this look easy out front. He's opened up a pretty substantial margin over Colby Eagland. Looks like it's out to about 20 seconds over the 24 machine. But Johnson is holding his own on this two-stroke. He's in third. Johnson is doing his part on this 252 stroke. I'll tell you that much. I would never be able to run this pace on one, but he is making it look easy. Honestly, there's no other way to put it. Adam Holm and Castellaneta still battling it out for fourth, and back to sixth place as Lang just got back into sixth around Caleb Hall. Noah Bindis is 8th. Frank Jackson is 9th. That is the second two-stroke rider in line. And Connor Holiak rounds out the top 10. Jack Mark 11th. Jacob Hubbard, the third two-stroke rider. So this two-stroke battle is going off right now. He and Matthias Janis have just been going at it. Janis outside. Who's going to get the drive up the hill? They got Walter Gebhardt right behind him. So this is a three-rider 252 stroke battle. I feel like Gebhardt caught them as well. So this is... oh, and as I say that, he goes over the berm. I was about to say, though, I feel like this is building towards them getting into a three-rider battle. Hubbard on Janis inside, pulls up alongside, goes around the outside here. Be side by side coming down the hill. Janice controls the inside, but Hubbard might have a good line here. No, Janice still gets that second rut beautifully. Just hearing him sing off of that single jump into the sand. Oh, Hubbard down in the background right there, front end tuck. Jones going to go by, as will Janice. Yes. Cooper Hunt. Sorry, I kept saying it was Matthias Janice, but it's Cooper Hunt, who's the two-stroke rider up here. And his teammate Janice is now in a battle with Hubbard. So this look that Janice has is it Moto Triple X that he's got? It looks a lot like the Kevin Windham Amso Honda. Yeah, Kevin Windham. Gebhardt, I think District actually has skins, and I re-downloaded them several times, but I don't know if I had the wrong pack or what. I know Smee sent it to me. So I apologize that I downloaded all the packs that he sent me, but write the right one or what? Oh, so good. Johnson's still just kind of cruising by himself right now in third. He's got 20 seconds back to home. And Lang is close to one home. Really nothing going on out front of substance. Like 11-second lead for Leclerc. He's kind of in cruise control. But I guess if you want to say anything about it, he's not gone. If he were to go down, Eagland would be there. And then Johnson's not too far back of Eagland. So there are potential battles to be made of the lead group. But right now, it's pretty much stagnated at this top three is probably going to be the top three as it finishes. I mean, unless maybe Payson can get to Eagland. He's got a huge gap back to home. Lang's trying to close up on home, already been there. About a quiet 6 for Noah Bindis. Amongst all this chaos, I think this is about to be a career best for the Temecula Motorsports 391. Yeah, just putting in the laps, man, hitting his marks. Doing a good job. Frank Jackson here is in 7th, though. And as mentioned, this is the second best two-stroke rider. Oliak 8th, Hall 9th, Castellaneta 10th. And back to more two-strokes. Cooper Hunt has made it to 11th. Can't imagine what it must feel like to be Anthony Pachone, Jack Mark. You're just surrounded by two-strokes right now and can't even pass the one ahead of you. Gebhardt just got around Jack Mark, and Matthias Janis is giving Jack Mark everything he can handle right now. And the 450 power prevails up Horsepower Hill. Jack Mark gets back around Walter Gebhardt. All right, where are some battles we can key into here? Anything brewing? Looks like Lang got around home fairly recently. He's pulled away now, so home I think maybe went down to help that establish a bit of a gap. And Payson all by himself in the 3 spot. He's 9 seconds back of Colby Eaglin in second, so this is starting to slip away from how close he was to the front. I feel like Eaglin has kind of put the hammer down a little bit. Eaglin, for what it's worth, is 10 seconds back of Leclerc and going faster than him, but not fast enough, really. Leclerc is doing the business out front. Eaglin's just going to try to keep chipping away, all the while this man is saying, thanks that you guys decided to ride 2 strokes because Johnson was faster than him in qualifying and maybe he could have had a shot at beating Leclerc here today, at least in this first moto. You never know what's going to happen in Moto 2, but this first moto, it's gone all Leclerc's way. He got in the lead relatively early. Hubbard got the whole shot. Leclerc wasted little time to get around Adam Holm, get around Jacob Hubbard. Braden Castellaneta was in the mix early, but Leclerc said, see you later. I'm getting around all you guys. So Leclerc right now is sitting 2 points up, entering today's action on Payson Johnson. As of this current second, he would gain 5 points on him for Johnson finishing third. So it'd stretch out to a 7-point advantage with just 7 motos left to go on the season. Eaglin would like to say something about it. I feel like he's been inching now down to 8.4, 23.6 versus 24.2. Like, Leclerc has one big mistake and Eaglin's going to be on him. Leclerc has been able to kind of stagnate the gap, at least for the first half of this lap. So I wonder if it's the second half of the track that's where Eaglin's really catching him. Now it's extended out to 10 seconds. So I don't know. Eaglin maybe made some mistakes or what have you. Johnson 12 seconds back at Eaglin, so he's still losing time, which is what we expected of him riding a 2-stroke. But still to be third in this moto is unbelievable. I don't think Lang's going to get to him. He's trying 21.9 versus a 24 flat, but not enough laps left in this race. To close down, he's going to need to crash. And then Adam Holm is just hanging out in 5th. Although Noah Bindis is catching him. What the heck is this? Noah Bindis trying to get a top 5 in the motos here. Jose Boutron school scoring points, it looks like. See Holm just on the bottom of the frame right there ahead of Bindis. Connor Holiak is coming, though. He's trying to close up on him. So this could maybe come together as a bit of a 3-rider battle. And then Frank Jackson, I haven't talked enough about his ride. He's been really solid here inside of the top 10. And if not for Payson Johnson being an alien, we'd be talking a lot more about the fact that Jackson is just quietly the best 2-stroke rider on the track, not named Payson Johnson. Castellaneta's fairly close. There's the 500 of Rockefeller just hanging out a lap down. Jack Haley, Caleb Hall, and There's the third fastest two-stroke rider of Cooper Hunt. Let's go aboard with Hunt. See what it's like to try to battle Caleb Hall here. Outside. Follow him down the hill. Actually, no, it takes an alternate line. Oh, that's one way to go around the track. He is going to have to turn around and go back. He missed way too many timing gates. Caught in 4K right there, did Cooper Hunt. Wow, Sullivan. Wow, he's done a really good job of clawing his way up into this battle. 231.2. He's into 15th now. So is he the fourth best two-stroke now? We got Payson. And so Frank is the second best one, still ahead of Castellaneta. Cooper Hunt is the third best. Yeah, Sullivan's now the fourth two-stroke rider in line. This is such a clean look. Can we get Chevrolet back involved in our sport somehow? Oh. These bikes are just money. Kyle Boardman, Matthias Janis is 17th and just went down battling with Gebhardt. Gebhardt now 17th. Janis going to pick it up in 18th. Dre Smith is 19th. And Jared Gummison rounds out the top 20. Here we go up Horsepower Hill yet again. Jeremy Siebold about to be put a lap down. Colby Eaglin only 6 seconds back. He's still lurking, man. And Lang has finally caught Payson Johnson. So it just seemed like it might materialize. And I think Payson maybe had a crash to help it. But this is the battle for third now. If you're Payson, you're like a sitting duck because Lang is going to blow by you going up Horsepower Hill right here. Pretty similar drives. And then from here, see ya. That is 450 versus 250 two-stroke power in a nutshell. And Lang is into third place. Johnson slips back to fourth. So now the quest for the lead is what we really have to keep an eye on here because Eaglin's inched it down to 6 seconds. Claire is still leading. He's dealing with lap traffic. I think we're coming to the white flag this time by. Eaglin's just doing what he can to keep it close. So it's down to Leclerc, I think, just to get these last few laps as Janis runs into the back of him, and I thought he was going to land on him. All right, so are we coming to the white flag? Trying to see the flag stand here. Yes, white flag is waving, so Leclerc looking for another huge moto victory, and Eagland is trying his best to thwart that in the sake of his teammate Payson Johnson. Johnson's trying to go back after Lang, which he's going to need to do in these switchback sections is where he could gain his advantage back because Lang has got him on the hills. Bouncing through the whoops. Lang was a little bit sideways, but held it on. So Johnson's got an eye on him. feel like Johnson did gain time through those switchback sections. He was on it, really pushing the pace through there. Is it going to be enough, though? I don't think so. I think Lang is just going to pull back away on Horsepower Hill here. Look at that beautiful scrub. Power down all the way up the hill, and then bam. Yeah, Johnson just... What are you going to do? You are down on power, Sunshine. Now Leclerc is letting this thing get awful close, and Walter Gebhardt is going to be the next guy he's hitting here. Curious how this goes. As Colby Eagland has got this thing to 3.5 seconds on the final lap. I think Leclerc just doesn't even want to get to Gebhardt, really. Is that maybe what he's hanging back for a little bit? It's like, whatever, man. Do your thing. I'm going to win this moto and not worry about what you're doing. Eagland is sending it, man. He's getting as close as he possibly can get. Maybe just hoping for penalties, but he's down. He is down and stacked up on the inside line right there. So this is Leclerc's all the way now. He's going to ride this to the bank with a good points haul on his nearest rival, Payson Johnson, who elected to race a two-stroke in this one. Alexis Leclerc takes 450 Moto 1 at Washougal. Colby Eagland into the whoops. Picks up a second. Tyler Lang is going to hold off Johnson by the looks of it. Whoops, one final time for Lang. Looks like he'll be okay. Yep, quad out. Got it. He is in third. And our top two-stroke rider in this moto, Payson Johnson. Pretty much as expected, if he chose to road a two-stroke, he would be the top guy. But fourth is very, very impressive. Unfortunately, does lose 7 points to Leclerc as Adam Holm backflips the uphill step up. No one really close to him right now, so it looks like P5 is going to be all his for the taking as he backflips down the hill again. Noah Bindis stayed close, but just not close enough. Into the rollers goes Holm. He'll check off a top 5 result at Washougal. Really good stuff for Holm. Good to see him back in the mix. And Noah Bindis, man. Privateer life, basically, out here. Getting into a 6th place finish. Great ride. Frank Jackson's going to be our second highest two-stroke finisher with a 7th. 8th is going to be Connor Holiak. 9th looks like it will be Castellaneta. And 10th will be Caleb Hall, rounding out our top 10 positions. Pachone ends up 11th, 12th for Jack Haley. Cooper Hunt is our third best 250 rider in 13th. 14th right behind him, though, is Luke Sullivan, our 4th best 250 rider. And Jack Mark is going to cross the line here in 15th. 16th for Kyle Boardman. And Walter Gebhardt will get 17th. He was the last rider on the lead lap, as we saw. So 18th for Janice. 19th for Jared Gummison. And 20th for Spencer Turley. Still got the 500 out there circulating. There it is. Across the line goes Rockefeller in 30th, and here comes Gebhardt to complete the rostrum. There we go, 20th, 17th for Gebhardt. Let's see, any changes of note? Negative. Everything inside the top 20 stayed the same. Leclerc takes the dub in 450 Moto 1. Be right back. All right, we're back. Getting ready to load into the gate for 250 moto number 2. And the first moto provided the goods just like it did the week before from Spring Creek. Boy, oh boy, was that a fun one. Those guys went to battle. And in the end, we saw Seth Carr as the winner on penalties over Braden Tharp. Cade Matherly gets 3rd. Seth Shirley got 4th. Rasmus Balzer was also right in the mix. We had 5 riders separated by 9 seconds at the flag in 250. Hopefully we are in line for that again in Moto 2. Seth Shirley plowing into the lemonade stand before the moto. Take a look. 25 machine there of Cade Matherly. There he is, championship leader by 10 points provisionally going into Moto 2. And you know what? This time I will pick Matherly for the whole shot because he was oh so close to the first moto. I think he's fired up. We are on the gate and ready to go. That 30 card has turned sideways. The revs are coming up. 250 Moto 2 is off and running at Washougal. Couple guys hit the gate, I think, including Matherly, as we got a couple cowies wheeling to the first corner. Leitzel runs deep. A lot of guys went down. Studio 8 hole shot goes to Bryce Whelan. Somebody barrel rolled into the second corner and went down. Balzer with a good start. I see the 25 of Matherly in about 6th or 7th spot, but Shirley is in 4th just behind Tharp. Going up Horsepower Hill on the first lap as Balzer takes the lead. So it is Whelan officially credited with the whole shot. Balzer immediately takes over the lead going up Horsepower Hill. Then Tharp, Shirley, Matherly all right in tow. Leitzel went way deep into the first corner, but he's 12th. Drop down into the middle section through the switchbacks. Inside for Whelan, goes to the outside here. Balzer defends inside and comes out still the leader. Scrubbing dualies. Oh, Whelan into those hay bales. Whelan was quietly pretty good in the first moto. Ran top 10 the whole time. Maybe a start is all he needed to show what that speed was really like. Dualies, huge ones. Those guys toss him. See those drain plugs right there? Oh, balls are off the track. And into the lead goes Whelan. Second place goes to Tharp. And Balzer settles into 3rd just ahead of Seth Shirley. This freight train out front. Man, these 250 races have been so good, and we're about to see another good one, I feel, because we got some heavy hitters out front. Bryce Whelan's going to lead him down at the end of lap number 1, but he's got Braden Tharp right behind him on the 20. With Rasmus Balzer on that 35 in 3rd, and down the inside into 3rd place goes Seth Shirley. 44 Husqvarna, backed by JIBR.co. Takes over 3rd spot, and Matherly has now settled into 5th. I believe he got around Holtzy to get there. Shirley now setting his sights on Tharp as Whelan continues to lead the race. You see our front 5 basically nose to tail through this switchback section. I feel like Tharp wants a piece of the lead. He is all over Whelan. Down to the inside. This is a preferred line going into Horsepower Hill, but Whelan making that outside look really strong. That rear tire getting the power down. Tharp almost rodeoed it off the track. Oh, and Whelan goes down. Who called it? It was Harrison. Harrison 13 called it. And Tharp takes over the lead. So Tharp now leading from Shirley, then Balzer. Matherly about a 1.5 seconds behind Balzer as our front 3 are streaking away a little bit here. And Shirley looks fired up this moto after that fourth in the first one. Scrubbing it down. Speaking of fired up, though, man, tough way to lose the first moto on penalties as Shirley launches into the sand and takes over the lead. Oh, my goodness. And then a huge oppo whip on the big step up. It might cost him the lead. Dually scrubs Shirley down the inside. Tharp shuts the door and takes the lead back away. Back and forth. What a original pass that was, though, for Seth Shirley. Launching it into the sand. And 3 riders nose to tail. It just keeps on giving. This 250 class will not relent for us. Outside to in. This is what he did to pass Balzer at the end of the first lap, but it doesn't work this time. Coming into this moto, it was a 10-point gap for Cade Matherly. It was an 8-point gap starting the day, but he gained 2 points on Shirley in the first moto. As they run, Shirley is gaining 4 of those points back right now. So it would be down to a 6-point advantage for Cade Matherly in the championship if it were to finish exactly like it is, but there is so much racing left to go. Matherly looks like he wants to get in this fight as well. He's kind of lurking back there. He's been creeping into the picture. Oh, that's Tharp. Tharp is down. He was kind of hidden by that tree, so I didn't see it. But Tharp throws the lead away, and that is going to give it to Seth Shirley, who takes over from Balzer and Matherly going up Horsepower Hill. Seth Shirley is in the lead, and he's trying to erase that 4th place finish in the first moto. Balzer was 5th in the first moto, and Matherly was 3rd. So Tharp, who was 2nd in the first moto, just threw away a great opportunity as he slips back to 4th. And we're still keeping an eye on where our first moto winner, Seth Carr, is. Trying to see how far down the order he may be. Oh, so 15th place for Seth Carr, 23 seconds off the lead. That is going to be a tough task. But if he could get to maybe even 4th, depending on where Shirley finishes, he could have a shot at the overall win still. You never know. Inside move right there for Balzer. Not quite close enough. Payson Johnson just dropping by to let us know he didn't ride the 2-stroke at all for the race and just decided to do it because his boys convinced him to. And ends up getting 4th. Crazy. Oh, Balzer. Wow, what a save. Got kicked sideways and then it just kind of straightened out as he rode the rear tire. Hangs on to 2nd because of it, and Matherly is still lurking back there. So 1, 2, 3, kind of having a bit of a gap between each other now, and then a big gap back to Tharp now, who runs in 4th. Bryce Whelan is 5th, and Logan Leitzel has made amends from blowing the whole shot in this moto, but also just a tough first moto for the one machine, where he lost out on quite a few points. I believe he ended up in 10th. Oh, that's not going to help. Oh, front end hit that inside of the anthill. Kicked him nose high, and down he goes. Loses 2 spots. He'll lose a 3rd spot right there, and gets going just in time. Will he lose a 4th to Niles? Yes, he will. Niles is also going to get by. Well, Eitzel's going to try to fight right back up the inside. Niles shuts the door. Eitzel far inside line. Trying to use the inside option up Horsepower Hill to get back around Niles, but it does not work. Niles is holding steady. So Leitzel slips back to 10th, becomes 9th after Cepeda slides out right there in front of him. And crosses over on Niles, trying to get to this inside line. Pushes Niles out, moves into 8th. Holtze side by side coming down the hill with Jack Gatlin. Gatlin almost goes over the front and rides it deep into the corner here. Saves it, but loses a spot to Holtze in the process. So Holt up into 6th. And then we get back to our leaders. Whelan, Tharp in 4th. Matherly 3rd. Balzer in 2nd. Seth Shirley starting to streak away out the front of this one. Not even yet 10 minutes into this moto, and there is daylight between himself and Rasmus Balzer. So Seth Shirley checks in onto lap number 5 with a healthy advantage, and the battle for second place is the one that will be brewing here shortly. It's Cade Matherly trying to work up to Balzer. And got to give a shout to Tharp, man. He has put his head down after that crash. I think he's the fastest rider on the track at a 2:22.8. He's going 3 seconds faster than Matherly a lap right now. And that time of just 2.8 seconds to him is going to come down in a hurry if he keeps riding like this. So let's stick on board with Tharp and see what is he doing other than just maybe throwing caution to the wind. Tharp at a 2:22.2, 2:25.2 for Matherly. A 2:25.1 for Balzer. Wow, never mind. That was Seth Shirley at a 2:21 flat, fastest rider on the track and resetting fastest lap of the race out front. Clearly streaking away. Hasn't really gained as much time as I thought based on those lap times. I mean, he's definitely charging, but maybe Matherly's responded at this point. Still just hovering at 2.8. I kind of was expecting to see that gap go down a little bit. 2.7. Tharp is definitely pushing the envelope in and out of the corners. You can see the front end kind of twitching on entry, even right there, had a little bit of kind of twitchiness coming out of it. And obviously that's a natural reaction to the bike hitting those braking bumps, but also you can tell when you're hitting the limits of the traction a little bit, the front end will kind of like wobble just ever so slightly. Seeing that just like that little front end kind of notch coming into that corner. This is not going to be that good of a lap for Tharp compared to what he was putting down, that 2:22.8. Ends up going 23.7. That's still pretty good, but then Matherly goes 23.2 to match him. And 23.2 out of Balzer. Another 21, though, out of Shirley. 21.4 out front. He is cooking. Hold up. Let him cook. What else we got going? There's Leitzel, Jack Gatland, Evan Holt, Jeremy Schiabro, Johnny Padani, Hayden Stevenson, Nick Niles, and then our Moto 1 winner, Seth Carr. Let's see what lap times he's putting down. 34.9, 27.1 was his best. So clearly frustrated in the pack. Trying to get his wits about him and start running the times that he was putting down in the first moto. That's all you can really do at this point, and just hope against hope that you make it into a position that could win you the overall. But right now, it is Seth Shirley in that position. He would go 4-1 to win the day here at Washougal. He'd also pull the gap from 8 points coming into the day down to 5 if it finishes as is. But never know. Balzer could toss it away and let Matherly get that second position. Maybe Shirley even himself tosses it away. He's been looking really strong out front. Got a request to see some first person on Seth, so why not? He's been putting the fastest laps of the race down, so deserves a little bit of the credit. Sit back and enjoy our race leader putting it in out front. So yeah, I think Seth Shirley's going pretty fast out front. Still putting it in the 22s lap after lap now. 8.1 second advantage over Balzer, who just went 22.3 himself. So he is picking up the pace to try to match what Shirley's putting down out front. Whelan, by the way, is now third. Tharp 4th, Leitzel 5th, and Matherly 6th. So things have absolutely kicked off back here. Matherly, who was on Balzer not that long ago, is now 17, 18 seconds behind him. Had to have 2 fall-off crashes. There's no way. Leitzel, sensing opportunity, is on Tharp now for the 4 spot. Suddenly, this has turned into a little bit of a, wait a minute. Could Seth Shirley even leave with the championship lead? As they run right now, there would be a dead tie at the top. A 6 for Matherly. Shirley win would be a 10-point split. Look at that line from Leitzel. Oh, and he made it work. Beautiful. Just cutting across, getting to that inside line, using it to his advantage. Tharp had no response, at least not yet. He is going to latch on to Leitzel, though, and try to figure out a way back by the number 1 machine. Leitzel, you're looking ahead. You see the 31 rolling over the finish line jump. Bryce Whelan in 3rd place. Want a piece of that. Tharp is about to be under attack, though, from Cade Matherly. And if Matherly could get back into the top 5, it would at least guarantee that he keeps the championship lead another week. Right now, he's sitting on 15 points for this moto with a 6th place finish. And after the first moto, it was a 10-point difference between him and Seth Shirley. Shirley's on 25 points right now, so he's literally gaining those 10 points back as we speak. And we would have 2 red plate holders if it finished just like this heading into the break. This is going to be a long break after this. 2 weekends off of Pro Motocross thanks to the Loretta Lynn's break. We at Start Your Systems will be recasting the Southwick National next Wednesday. Since I was sick for that, so I didn't get to see it. I still have not watched it. Don't know the results at all. And don't really remember what the championship looked like before it. So to be honest with you, I have no idea what happened in that race. And going to call it like I've never seen it. Because I haven't. But we will be back live here next week as Leitzel goes down off the outside of the track over the bars. I saw him flipping, saw boots in the air. And now back to 6th place he goes. So Matherly back into the top 5. Jack Gatlin was close, but not close enough. And Evan Holt, Hayden Stevenson, and Johnny Padani rounding out the top 10. Seth Carr is into 11th, 2:24.2. So those times have come down, but fortunately for him, we only have 12 minutes of this race left and pretty large gaps to the next group of riders ahead of him. Like even to get to, definitely to get to Leitzel, he's going to have to need some luck. Matherly has got his eyes set on Tharp just up the road. Tharp still wants to go after Whelan. There's Balzer and Shirley, who are gone at the front of the field and kind of just pacing each other. It's a 9-second gap for Shirley. He's just putting 23s down lap after lap. But hey, look, Balzer 23.3 as well. Only lost 0.2 that last time by. They're pretty much matching pace. And they have 19 seconds on Whelan up the road. So we're about to see, I think, a battle for the 3 spot soon enough. Tharp has kind of dropped Cade Matherly a little bit and is instead focused forward on trying to go get excuse me, Bryce Whelan, and he might get him. Whelan blew the corner, and Tharp takes full advantage to go into 3rd place. Braden Tharp on the 20 Covenant ride has found his way into 3rd position. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, third position. He's got a long ways to go to get to Balzer. 16 seconds up the road. Whelan tucking in behind Tharp there. Whelan is not done with him. He is looking for some options, trying some different lines. Like I said, Whelan in the first moto quietly got all the way to 7th. I feel like it was a little underrated, that ride. So now into the second moto. Oh, front end tuck and off the bike just as I start talking about him. The commentator's curse is real. And Matherly takes advantage to go into 4th. So Whelan gets going behind him, and then Leitzel dropping down the hill just behind that. So Cade Matherly now, damage limitation being done by the 25. Was down in 6th, which would have left him in a dead tie for the championship lead. Seth Shirley, who is leading this race, but because he has moved into 4th now, it's put him in a position where he would leave Washougal with a 3-point advantage in the championship still, having come in 8 points up, so mathematically, of course, losing 5 points on the day. That's just how the math works here in RaceFactory Gaming Motocross. Not out of the waters just yet is Braden Tharp in 3rd place. Cade Matherly would like to go get him, as much as Bryce Whelan and Logan Leitzel behind Matherly would like to catch back up and get into 4th. Look at the lap times real quick. It is a 2:26.2 last time by for Cade Matherly, 2:23.9. So Tharp obviously putting some gaps between himself and Matherly as it runs, but Matherly maybe with some clean air can open it back up. Of course, Whelan with his crash put down a 2:34.5. Leitzel checks in at a 2:24.1. So Leitzel and Whelan, at least for now, are definitely catching Matherly on pace. Got 8 minutes and 2 laps left to go in 250 Moto 2 here at Washougal. It kind of feels like Whelan and Leitzel might get back to Matherly just as much as I thought Matherly was going to sprint away from them. Not out of the water just yet with these two. Seems like Shirley may have just gone down as well because it was a 13-second advantage on Balzer. It's now down to 6. We'll check in with your race leader here in just a moment. I want to see if this battle materializes, especially because Tharp just made a mistake and now Matherly can see him right in front of him and almost just made a big mistake of his own. Had that rear end kick out in transition going up the uphill. Kind of had to not come to a stop, but definitely get on the brakes quite hard at the top of that hill. Back out of the power on that Twizy number 25 Yamaha. As soon as you get that carrot dangling in front of you like Matherly has here with Tharp, this gives you a little extra incentive to push. Oh, and as I say that, Tharp OJs into the sand and immediately legs off crash. He's down. He is going to get going before Leitzel, who suddenly is nowhere near Bryce Whelan. I don't know if Leitzel had another crash or what. Not there anymore. So that gives another position then to Matherly, who has now made it into the 3rd position. That's another 2 points in his favor. With Shirley winning this moto, he would lose 5 points to Shirley in this single moto alone, but would still leave with a 5-point advantage as it runs. But I gotta say, I feel like Bryce Whelan has got the fire in his belly right now. He is coming. So he did a 34.5 with a crash. Let's see if he goes down to a 24 again. Not a 25.7, but a 26.6 out of Matherly. So he was just about a second faster than the 25 machine last time by, and he is 2 seconds down as we run on track right now. So that gap is coming down. It's going to continue to come down to the point where Whelan will be on him. We'll have a battle for 3rd place. That is what we're looking at materializing here in the next few laps. Oh, Whelan. Those banners a little bit. Fortunately, no collisions on them, but he did just narrowly avoid not only a few hay bales, but also the giant overhang stand that hangs over our Studio 8 Whole Shot Award area. Hitting either those hay bales or the giant overhang would have definitely caused a bit of a problem, because they do have collisions. You can certainly run into those items. Really got through that inside line very well. Jumping out to flat. Jumping down the hill, landing in that pocket. On the brakes hard to get to this inside. Pop to the outside. Keep the momentum. So 1.4 now is the gap. Try this far outside line right here. So going 4 into the sand. No, checking up again. On that gas. Wide open up the hill, up to this big step up. Scrub it down, not get too much air time. Land wide open once again. Ooh, missed that rut a little bit. Rider off track. That was a lapped rider though, so no effect to him. Oh, and wheeling. Wow, what a save. That rear end compressed hard and kicked him right up over the bars. Rode the nose and it just kind of slid to the outside line ever so slightly enough, I think, to save him from basically facing down into the ground. So Whelan will have to go back to work and try to close down on Cade Matherly. Rasmus Balzer just here in second as Seth Shirley continues to lead the race. We are down to the final 3 minutes and 2 laps here at Washougal, and Seth Shirley is on his way, at the moment at least, to a potential overall win here at Washougal and clawing those points back. There's Matherly and Whelan still pretty close together. Tharp has Leitzel and Gatland on him. Battle for first. What? 11 seconds between Balzer and our leader, Seth Shirley, right now. So maybe there was a battle and I just narrowly missed it. Oh, now we do have a battle because Shirley was down. Shirley just picking it up. And suddenly, that comfortable gap for the 44 machine out front has dissipated. 1.8 seconds the advantage on Balzer. So Shirley has to defend. Try to settle back into a groove. Balzer just tucking to that inside line. Scrubbing over the hill. On the gas, coming back down the hill. Crosses over. So lap time check. 24.1 was Balzer's last time by. Is he going to go similar or even faster now that he has a little bit of a carrot dangling in front of him here? Rollers. Up and over the finish line jump, 24.6. Only lost about a half second off of his ideal lap time from the lap before, and Shirley is down, and Balzer hits him. So they both stack up in the corner, and now the race is back on. Neither rider actually fell off the motorcycle. Shirley just kind of cross-rutted and then stood it back up. But now he is not in the lead of this race. And Whelan has actually gotten around Matherly, so that's another change for position right there. Man, the overalls are about to be really weird. But Shirley has to go back to work to get Balzer back. I think Balzer is in a position right now to win the overall. Oh, that's crazy. I don't know where Seth Carr has made it to. 14th. Yeah, that's not enough. And Tharp is 5th after 2nd in the first moto. Here we go. Drag race up Horsepower Hill. Lap traffic right there. Shirley lands alongside Balzer, has a better drive, but Balzer's going to try to scrub the top of the hill and get to this inside line. No, Shirley gets it done. He is back in the race lead. Gotta watch out. That is the 95 of Spicer. moving aside very nicely. Lapped riders down on the inside and moving off the outside of the track right there. Didn't see the number, but the battle continues for the race lead. Oh, Balzer hard on the brakes down the inside. Shirley a little stack up, and Balzer into him and tips over. And both of those lappers get right back by. Now they're in front of Balzer. Oh my goodness, Spicer with that crossover almost just ended Balzer's day. It's tough because as a lapper here, you let him by. You don't want to let him by again, but you have to. It's respecting the blue flag. So Balzer clears him, and even with that little bobble, getting stuck on Shirley's rear tire, only lost about 1.5 seconds when all is said and done. And it looks like he is on a mission right now to close that gap back down. Oh no, front end over the outside line. Down he goes, laying in a tree right there. And now Shirley is going to have a huge advantage as Matherly has gotten back by Bryce Wheel and he's into third. And here's Tharp in fifth. So this is back in the hands of Seth Shirley. And the 2-lap board just came out as he kind of swapped his way into that corner. Matherly is suddenly going to see Balzer not too far up the road going over the finish line jump when it was a rather large gap. So that's an interesting shift right there. And just 5.5 seconds in it, really. Matherly scrubs that tabletop and charges on. Speaking of charging on, Balzer looks like he is trying to fly right now. Let's go back and find some battles. There's Whelan and then Tharp in fifth. Jack Gatlin right behind him in sixth. Lap traffic in between, though. Pretty solid effort here for Gatlin in the second moto. Just quietly put it in a battle towards the top 5 with the Race Cush Racing Twitch.tv/Gatlin Plays Suzuki, but he just laid into a lapped rider right there. The 42 district ride, I believe that is, of Gerst. Went down in front of him, so Gatlin gets going, but not before, well, that was Marconda's Fatosa, I believe, that went by him. And he's just in lap traffic hell right now. Can't get around. Finally going to get by Fatosa. Hayden Stevenson, because of all this chaos, has caught him. Yogi Designs 84. Little battle brewing here for the 6th spot. Stevenson wants it. Gatlin has it. Dropping down the hill into the switchbacks. White flag about to come out for our race leader, but we're keeping an eye on this battle for 6 for a moment. Ooh, Stevenson. Always risky to wheelie off the hill like that. Try to get this inside line. Not quite close enough as Gatlin rails the outside to keep it just ahead. Top of the hill they go, and Stevenson is just tucking in behind Gatlin, trying to figure out what lines he can use to maybe, just maybe, get him. Got the funnel in right here, and Gatlin goes inside, a little defensive. Stevenson charges to the outside, almost turns to the inside right there. Got close, but a bit better option right there for Gatlin on landing to cut across. Sideways on entry, now hopping through these whoops to the finish line. Jump they go, and another lap completed. 28.5 Stevenson, 39.8 Gatlin. Of course, was a crash that he got together with Gerst on the 42. Really set up this entire battle that we're watching right here. Like I said, white flag is out, so this is get it or don't time for Hayden Stevenson trying to get into 6th place. Seth Surley is on his way to the win and overall victory out front. This battle is so close between 2 different Suzuki teams. Pushing out to flat. Right in behind that 57. I think if Stevenson could have laid into that corner a little bit better, he would have gotten a better drive up this hill, but it's going to even out pretty much, I think. Well, Stevenson's got a pretty good drive, but it's not going to be enough as Gatlin holds it just ahead of him at the top of the hill. Wow, Matherly's made it all the way to 2nd place. Damage limitation at its finest. Stevenson outside, turns to in. No, we'll get back to this battle in a second because our leader is about to check in and win this thing. Well, even with Matherly in 2nd, a 3-2 is not going to defeat a 4-1. Shirley is going to win by a single point today and gain 1 point in the championship. Go from 8 down to 7 down of Matherly. And he was trying to be kind to, I can't tell who that is, maybe Tyler Blowers. But in the end, it is going to be Seth Shirley who takes the win here at Washougal. 4-1 gets it done. And he is your winner of the Washougal National in 2023. Cade Matherly, though, a valiant effort. 3-2 performance, 2nd overall on the day. And it looks like he'll tie with Tharp. Both of them earning 42 points for their efforts. A 2-3 out of Tharp and a 3-2 out of Matherly. But obviously the better 2nd moto score breaks the tie break. They'll be on the box together, though, and Whelan will finish 4th in this one as this battle is raging on, and Stevenson, just as we switch to him, crosses up and goes down. Excuse me. So Gatland will survive, it looks like, to finish in the top 5. Great effort for Jack Gatland, and Stevenson finishes up in 6th. Rasmus Balzer jumping to the line in 7th. Evan Holt, really good ride for Holtzy in 8th. Logan Leitzel has probably seen his championship hopes go up in the trees today. 2 subpar motos, really. A 10.9 is not going to be championship material this year, and you can tell he's frustrated by it. Schiabro rounds out the top 10. Seth Carr, our first moto winner, is not even going to finish on the podium today. This 11th place is going to really put him down the order, and he is also frustrated there. J.R. Reyes, though, on the 72 with a strong 12th. I think he'll be happy with that. Nick Niles is 13th. Evan Vanderkoy into the points this moto. He'll be 14th on the 85 machine, or what is it, the 185 machine? I can't really tell. Alex Doyle, strong ride for him. He'll end up in the top 15. Race Cobble in 16th. McPherson 17th, Austin Partolo in 18th, Ryan Chowsey 19th, Lucas Bruns. So these 3 guys look like teammates, but apparently they're not. Partolo, Avalanche on this side. Yeah, wow, that is so weird. So Lucas Brun for Impact, I mean, looks almost identical to what these guys have got going on here. He's got the black rims instead of... Partolo doesn't even have blue rims. Same exact gear with the Monster logos in pretty much the exact same spot. As it's really weird. Anyway, back up to the front we go. Seth Shirley confirmed as our Moto2 winner and overall winner here at Washougal. 3 rounds remain, 6 motos left, 7 points in it between Cade Matherly and Seth Shirley. Matherly goes into the break with a 7-point advantage, and we'll have 2 weeks to think about it before we return to Unadilla on August 9th, I believe it is. So that is our 250 racing done, and we'll be back in just a moment. 450 Moto2 coming up at Washougal. All right, we are rolling into 450 Moto 2 coming up next. Final moto of the night. And as a quick reminder, if you're just joining us for the first time here tonight, whoops, press the wrong button. Apologies. Something's going to open. I got to close it. There we go. Nope. Now it's just going to hang out on the screen. Go away. There we go. Premiere Pro coming at you. If you're just joining us for the first time tonight, there is a big two-stroke purse up tonight at Washougal for the highest finishing 250 two-stroke rider in the 450 class, which thus far has been Payson Johnson. He finished 4th in the first moto on a 250 two-stroke amidst a championship fight with Alexis Leclerc. Just no F's given whatsoever by Payson Johnson. But if he is the overall 250 two-stroke winner of the night, he'll leave here with $200. There's a $400 prize purse put up tonight. Caleb Hall putting up $102. Aaron Rockefeller putting up $57. I put $50 in myself. Film guy Tom, a.k.a. Tom Jurnett, put in $50 as well. Stubbs put in $36. Luke put in $35. Steezy Films put in $30. And I think it was Gatlin Morrow put in $40 as well. So shout out to everybody that donated to the fund. And Johnson's still on that two-stroke. Let's see. Oh, there's what they were going to use. They're using that bike. Okay. Gotcha. Good old split fire machine. All right. So can Alexis Leclerc make it a clean sweep today? You know what? Hubbard ripped a fat hole in Moto 1. I'm going to go with Hubbard again. Two-stroke life on the 78. And we'll see if Leclerc makes it a clean sweep of the motos. And will Payson Johnson win the $200 cash reward in the two-stroke challenge? We are ready. We are set. It is time to drop the gate. Final moto of the night here at Washougal. Let's go! Leclerc pokes his nose out first on the 7. He's got a great run into the first corner. He's going to lead him through. Does he get on the brakes fast enough? He does not. Colby Eaglin rips the Studio 8. Oh, shit. Up the hill we go. It's Eaglin from Leclerc and a host of other riders in tow. One of the Suzuki two-strokes is up in the mix early on. Looks like he's in about 6th. I don't think it's Johnson, though. I don't see the one machine in a good position early on. Or actually, I should say the 24 because he's running a Gebhardt's bike. But it is Eaglin leading. Remember, Eaglin was 2nd in the first moto, so this could be an overall win in the docket today for Eaglin if he wins this second one. Dropping down the hill. Eaglin tucks that inside. Got Leclerc right on his tail. And you can see they're already starting to open up a little bit of a gap as I hear all the bumblebees in the background. Those two strokes revving their sweethearts out. Looks like Payson, I think, is in the top 5, though. Trying to see who that is on the Cowie back there. Jack Mark in 4th. It's Seabolt, excuse me. Seabolt is in 5th. Now Johnson is 6th, so it is him right there. Gebhardt. Oh, but Johnson was down and lost a couple positions. There is Seabolt. No longer on a two-stroke, but he is right behind Pachone. Bindis, who was 6th in the first moto, right alongside Blake O'Brien. And then Payson Johnson, who is not on his usual number 1. He's running the 24. Bit of a throwback look with that split fire Kawasaki. Use the momentum to his advantage. Get to his inside line right here. And he is just in... Oh, people everywhere getting past left and right. Here comes T-Lang on the 5. Right up behind him, O'Brien on the 81 down the inside. And oh my goodness, I don't know how Payson didn't go down. Crossed up a little bit. Remember, after the first moto, he lost 7 points to Leclerc. He is 9 points down in the championship entering this moto. And this is turning into, I'm just having fun on a two-stroke. So, I'm going to lose a lot of points. Especially not starting in a better position and getting away early. He's kind of stuck a little bit in the pack and dealing with the fact that these 450s have all this extra power. Like, he just got by Noah Bindis, but if Bindis stays close enough, he'll just out-drag him up Horsepower Hill and get him back. As Castellaneta and... Oh my goodness, that was tight. And wow, Johnson up the inside. Gets around Pachone and Castellaneta, but I think Pachone's going to get him back. He's going to be right on him. Maybe Castellaneta gets him. Woo, Castellaneta scrubbed dirty at the top of the hill, and Johnson's down. He got pinched by Castellaneta. They both went for the same rut, and this is going to be massively detrimental to him. He falls all the way back to 17th, and he's suddenly in the two-stroke battle. He's got Hubbard and Sullivan splitting him. Riders down on that downhill. That is Castellaneta, who he was battling, that suddenly is right here with him. Oh, and he lands on him. Doesn't fall off the bike, but is going to lose another position, maybe two. This is massive championship implications. Two-stroke race aside in this Washougal National. Johnson has got to get out of all this chaos. Boy, long. Oh, just on the nose enough there. The good news is he's still really close to a big pack of riders as our leaders have gotten away. Meanwhile, up front, Eagland and Leclerc, 221.3, 220.6 between the two of them. They are G-O-N-E. They are gone because Jeremy Siebold in third is a long ways back here. Anthony Pachone has moved to fourth with Lang inside the top five. Caleb Hall is sixth with Noah Bindis seventh. Devin Davis eighth. Frank Jackson in ninth is the top two-stroke right now with Jared Gummison in 10th. Matthias Janis 11th, second best two-stroke with Castellaneta 12th. Wallman, Hubbard, Sullivan, Rockefeller, then Johnson in 17th now. Very close with that crossover right there, but moves to 16th. And believe me, I don't have any doubt in Payson's ability to work through its group, work through the field, maybe get to even finishing inside the top five like he did in the first moto. But man, amidst the championship fight, the way that it's been going back and forth between he and Leclerc, this is really tossing a lot of points the way of the 7 machine. It didn't need to be. And Leclerc's quest for a record-setting 5th 450 National Championship is maybe going to be aided the most by Mason Johnson wanting to race a two-stroke at Washougal. Two strokes everywhere. Sullivan on the 11, 78 of Hubbard just ahead of Johnson. Also on a two-stroke. Walter Gebhardt just went down. And Johnson is inside of Hubbard and by. So now to 13th. So making good progress. Field is spreading out a little bit now. He's got to not crash again. If he crashes again, that is really bad. Oh my goodness, how does he get that around every time? So as they run, which by the way, change for the lead, Leclerc got by Eagland. So Leclerc, who won the first moto from Eagland by not too much in the end. Eagland got it close. Now has taken over the lead from the 24 machine after Eagland led for 3 laps. And clearly these two are the class of the field in the 450 class today, of riders that are on 450s, I should say. Yeah, a 1-1 day for Leclerc is massive. Massive, massive, massive for the championship. So two-stroke-wise in this two-stroke race, Frank Jackson is our lead two-stroke, but I think Johnson, because he had such a big advantage with that first moto score, is still in a position to win the two-stroke challenge here. It's obviously Johnson with a 4th in the first moto. He scores 18 points. Frank Jackson ended up finishing 7th. So he would have picked up 14 points. So that's not that much of a difference, only a 4-point swing. Look at that. Johnson's actually already made his way up into this mix. He's 11th. 221.8 on a two-stroke. What even is that? Outside to in. Gonna make that pass stick on Castellaneta. Remember, those are the two that got together at the top of Horsepower Hill that put Johnson down the order in the first place. So it felt like there was a little extra sauce there from Johnson. Scrubbing it down at the top of the hill. Johnson scrubbing so hard. Round the outside, gets by Jared Gummison. And, oh, Scheffler saying the two strokes are going to be scored individually for this challenge. So it just is. Basically, Jackson is going 2-1 to Johnson's 1-2 then right now. My apologies. I had asked Air before this, and he said that they were going to give the money to the highest overall finishing two-stroke, which is right now would be Payson in terms of overall points, but Frank Jackson, if they're going with that scoring system, would go 2-1 to 1-2 out of Johnson. Johnson going to try to make it a 1-1 performance in the two-stroke division, though. Oh, rider down, and Jackson has to take evasive action. Johnson takes advantage. Now Johnson has clawed all the way to 7th. So like I said, I had no qualms with the ability that Johnson had to maybe get into the top 5, but really dug himself a hole there early, and then if he had another crash, boy, oh boy, it would have been really tough. Now clearly top two-stroke guys, so that $200 looks be firmly planted towards his direction at this point. Next up, Caleb Hall. Down the hill to the outside. Rushing that outside, turns to this middle rut here. And easily done in the end around Caleb Hall into 6th. Then a pretty big gap now to Pachone. Runs inside the top 5. Siebold in 4th. Lang has crawled up into 3rd. So the exact same top 3 from the first moto is what we're looking at again. Lang 3rd, Eaglin 2nd, and Leclerc leading as we go into the rollers to complete the 5th lap on to lap number 6, 11 minutes. Whoa, Leclerc just doubled to the inside roller over the finish line jump and did an 18.5. All right, okay. So Alexis Leclerc has gone into alien mode at the front. Wow. So if we just get into a little bit of some hypotheticals here, right? If it stays with the same top 3, which it most likely will based on the way that Lang caught Johnson from pretty far back in the first moto. So even if Johnson gets into 4th place again, he goes 4-4 today on a two-stroke, he would have lost 14 points to Leclerc in a single day. It'd go from 2 points to 16 points as the gap. From there, if Leclerc in the final 6 motos finishes 2nd every single time while Johnson wins, Johnson would only win the title by 2 points. So that's how detrimental this day could be for Johnson, where Obviously, there's other guys that can get in the mix. Lang has been strong, won some motos. Eaglin's won some motos. It's not a foregone conclusion Leclerc would get second every moto, but the pace that Leclerc has been putting down of late is suggesting that he is more or less back into the championship form that we saw when he won his 4 titles, 2014, 2018, 2019, and 2020. So, I don't know. This is going to be the biggest turning point to me if Leclerc goes 1-1 here. You'd really just need to win another moto or 2 in the final 6. And this thing is maybe too far out of reach at that point. Even some of the stuff he's doing while leading the race right now feels like old school Leclerc. Big double across the finish line. Just doing stuff no one else is doing or even thinking about, I guess. Rollers popping through him, no problem. 219.5 doesn't double that time, but even with it, did a 219.5. Eaglin, 221.7, can't match. 2 seconds gained by Leclerc that time by. Lang 219.9 of his own, and then a 220.7 right there. Oh, Pachon down. Johnson's going to go into the top 5 right there. Pace and Johnson now into 5th place. Next up for him would be to try to catch Jeremy Seabolt. He's certainly pushing, man. 222.8. It's not like he's way off of what the leaders are doing. Yeah, the $200 is cool, like no question about it. And to make that money is definitely worth it, I feel like, for Payson. But I mean, the reality of racing professionally in MX Simulator is no one really does it for the money side of it. No one's out here trying to make millions of dollars racing in sim as Johnson goes down. You literally have tons and tons of people play this game for thousands of hours just to win this championship. That's what they're all going for. That's what I played it for. That's what everybody I've ever known that's put the time in to try to race this championship is going for. They want to win in this game. So, but I get it. I know Payson doesn't care, as he says. Leclerc does, as does Lang and Colby and those guys. Frank Jackson now going to settle in right back behind Payson Johnson again. He is amidst his own little battles right now, dealing with Jack Mark right behind him. Oh, Johnson launching out into the sand. No regard for human life right there. It's been a pretty boring battle out front all day. I feel like Leclerc's had the mark on Eaglin. Eaglin's had the mark on Lang. Seabolt turned it around this moto. He rode a 2-stroke in the first moto. Wasn't very good. I think wasn't maybe having fun. Got 22nd. Now in this moto, 4th. Pachon now settling back into 5th after having previously lost it to Johnson. Now Jack Mark is ahead of Payson. Payson, did he have another crash? Yeah, 37.4. E9 right now. Oh, front end. I don't know how it didn't grab on the landing of that tabletop. It looked like it was just grazing it. Oh, Castellaneta down again. For Hunt, Luke Sullivan, and then Johnson. Oh, Caleb Hall slid out. And the whole prize pools thing is actually a much newer concept. Even Sim, in its what I would call its heyday, never had cash prizes. It had, I think Tyson back-to-back years won a full set of gear from Fly Racing, and then the next year won a custom-designed Bell Moto 10 from Tagger Designs for winning his Supercross titles. The only thing I've ever won in this game was a $100 motosport.com gift card, finishing second in an arena cross series. So there was prizes, but never money. That's my whole point, is like there's never been money involved. So what is everyone playing this game for? To compete. Not money. So you can't tell me suddenly it's about the money. It's not. You just play it because it's a fun game and you want to compete. All right, Johnson is back onto Caleb Hall and Frank Jackson, which at this point, this is actually for the two-stroke overall. Frank Jackson, technically speaking, got second in the first moto behind Payson and is leading him in Moto 2, so he has the tiebreak. Go 1-2, 2-1, as I said, so he would win the $200 as is. Oh, slide out though. Johnson down the inside is going to get him back. Johnson now makes his way back into sixth as it runs. That would be a 15-point day, or second moto, I should say, for Payson Johnson. Lose 10 more points to Leclerc, so it'd go from a 19-point deficit, or a 9-point deficit, to a 19-point deficit. So his sole focus at this point in this moto is to try to catch Anthony Pachone. Let's go back and find the 500. Let's have some fun here. Still out there. Aaron Rockefeller still going. No, looks like he didn't make it out for this moto. Did I just miss it? Aaron Rockefeller in the second moto. Rogan McIntosh 2 smoking it up in 27th behind Blake O'Brien. And Walter Gebhardt's having no fun right now. Hey, Posty made the motos this week. He said he likes Washougal, so he really wanted to try this week. Oh, slide out and almost go down. Turley. Oh, Aaron Rockefeller went to a 450 this time? Come on, man. You can't go out there rocking 1989 or whatever it was CR 500 back to it. Just doesn't fit the narrative. It really doesn't. Devin Davis and Jack Haley. You've seen one battle between the two of them. You've really seen them all. Trey Smith getting in the mix. Get him right back into 18th. Chasing down Devin Davis. Davis is chasing down Jared Gummison and Matthias Janis. So we'll work out where everyone finishes in this two-stroke challenge once all is said and done. Oh, I definitely was out here putting in thousands of hours for $0 total goal. Like I said, I only ever won a motosport.com gift card, and then I was never good after that to win anything else. Finished 4th in 250 East Supercross one year, but that wasn't enough for a prize. Finished 6th in 450 Outdoors one year, not good enough for a prize. Thousands of hours put into it, but I would never take that away. I had a lot of fun. Oh, Jack Mark. Oh, huge off. Spot to Cocroft and Bindis. Those right behind Jackson. Cooper Hunt into the top 10. Cooper Hunt was 13th in the first moto. So sneaky little solid effort here. Castellaneta 9th. Sullivan, I love this look. I can just look at this like all day. I still feel that it's a huge missed opportunity that Fox doesn't put AC in some throwback 99 Fox gear like this so that he would look like Carmichael when he was number 9. So stupid. How is Fox missing the mark this bad? They literally put Joe Shimoda in some throwback pro circuit gear in 2021. It looked exactly like the stuff Ricky wore when he was a 450 class 250 rookie in 1999 as number 9 on a factory Cowie. Like, just do it, Fox. Do it. It's so simple. The AC, like, literally the talk of the whole weekend by doing it. Caleb Hall 7th. Anthony Pachone still 6th. And there is Johnson down again. He had made it back into the top 5 and he just tipped over. Not sure if it's the bike switch, because I know he was running a different bike in the first moto, and Spieth said that he switched to this one. What? But not the same Payson Johnson we saw in the first moto. Lang is dealing with Gebhardt a lap down, and down he goes. Eaglin still just 9 seconds back of Leclerc. This feels exactly like the first moto between Eaglin and Leclerc. I mean, Eaglin did lead a little bit of the opening laps this time, so that was a little bit different. But it just, like, Leclerc was just far enough away that Eaglin really couldn't inch up on him or anything like that. Then Leclerc started slowing down late, managing the gap, and that's exactly what we're seeing again. We're down to the final 5 minutes and 2 laps, and that's exactly what's happening again. I find it funny that people roast me for still liking and talking about Sim when I like and talk about MX bikes as well, because then those same people, if I go and turn around and make a video in Supercross 6, will say I'm a sellout. So I don't know what it is. I could either be the guy that stuck around with this game for too long and loved it because I love it that much, or I could go play a different game that I also enjoy, but be a sellout instead. There's no winning with some people. Leclerc looking at an 8-second advantage now on Eaglin. Looks like he has definitely gone into a little bit of management mode. And just big gaps behind that. As Johnson back around into the top 5, he's now just ahead of Hall. So we've lost Pachone. Yeah, Pachone not in the picture anymore. Instead, Luke Sullivan has crawled up here. He was 14th in the first moto. And I think it's an early crash that really cost him. 226 flat was his best. Yeah, this is a good turnaround ride for Sullivan. So I don't know when I'll commentate outdoors. I mean, it would be a goal and dream of mine someday to do that, but I'm perfectly content letting Weege do it for the time being. He's doing a great job. But I do know, if you haven't heard yet, that I will be on the Racer TV broadcast crew for all of Loretta's week. Getting there Sunday, staying through Saturday. It's supposed to be in the booth every single day at some point in time as Johnson tucks the front end, pushes out, and Caleb Hall goes back into the top 5. So this entire moto for Johnson has been 5th or 6th, 5th or 6th, 5th or 6th, back and forth. Going to get back on Caleb Hall again. Go to the outside, try to get a drive into these whoops. Goes 3, 4, 4, 2. It's just little mistakes that have been building. Now down the inside again. He's just going to nudge Caleb Hall, and Hall says, I don't care. I'm going to go ahead and right into this corner, no problem. Oh, rear end almost kicked out. Lurking back here with Castellaneta, Luke Sullivan, Frank Jackson. Hey, we've got 4 two-strokes in the top 10 right now. Jackson 10th, Sullivan 9th, Cooper Hunt 7th, and Johnson 6th. So there you go. That's the two-stroke challenge coming out, folks. Almost half of the top 10 in the 450 class is on two-strokes. That's what we wanted tonight, right? That is what we wanted, as Johnson lands on the rear tire and has a big off. So here comes Cooper Hunt and Castellaneta side by side up the hill as Johnson nearly comes back into the track in front of him. Sullivan is also going to go by. And so suddenly... This is really weird. So Cooper Hunt was the 3rd best two-stroke in the first moto, whereas Johnson was the best. So right now, Johnson is the 3rd best two-stroke in this moto. So they're tied on the two-stroke overall, as they're putting it. This is the chaotic two-stroke battle that we're having right here. This is Cooper Hunt in 7th, Luke Sullivan 8th, Payson Johnson 9th, and not too far back at them, or at least wasn't for a little bit, was Frank Jackson. He's in 10th. Yeah, we just doing Loretta's. I'm just doing it with him and Kevin Kelly and Megawatt, all those guys. Now, this is what you wanted, folks. Two-stroke battles. Johnson cuts across in front of Sullivan to take the position. Sullivan's going to try to fight back, though. Cooper Hunt has Johnson right on him, and they nearly come together. Sullivan's going to go to the inside right here. Johnson outside to in on Hunt. Doesn't work. Sullivan is right in his tail feathers. So 2-lap board should have just come out now for our race leader, Leclerc. Look at this absolute battle going on right now. Hunt versus Johnson versus Sullivan, all on two strokes. Oh, Hunt makes a mistake. Johnson to the outside, going to get by him. Everybody going to that anthill on the inside has screwed themselves in this moto. Now Sullivan tried to get up the inside of Hunt, and Hunt shut the door hard. Now Johnson back into 7th again and in position to win that $200 for the two-stroke overall. Cooper Hunt says, yeah, no, I'm gonna go after you. The white flag is out for Leclerc out front. So Johnson gonna try to go get Caleb Hall. the final lap and a half of this moto. Let's go back to our leader, though. Here is Alexis Leclerc. Like I said, it's very similar to the first moto. 6 seconds as the white flag waved over Colby Eagland. Lap traffic ahead. Doesn't seem like he really wants to get involved. Trying to take it easy. Boy, oh boy, this would be something if he ends up going down on this last lap and hands it over to Eagland after all of this. Eagland's going to try to get as close as he can, just like in the first moto. It was 3.2 seconds at the flag between he and Leclerc in Moto 1. It's 5.7 right now. And I feel like that end result makes it look so much closer than it has been. But Leclerc is letting him kind of like back into the fray here a little bit with just trying to weave through this lap traffic very carefully. Not pushing too much. Down to just that 5-second gap as we go up the uphill one more time. Leclerc out front on the final lap of the race. Floats it up over the top one more time, just carefully through those ruts. Doesn't want to have a weird kick. Down to 4.3, like definitely a very managed approach down the stretch here for Leclerc. Like I said, identical to Moto number 1, but hey, same result if you can take it. 2 wins on the day, extending the championship lead out to quite a large margin with 3 races left to go is what Leclerc wanted, and it's pretty much what he's going to get. Here it is, folks. Final straightaway, and it's a 1-1 dominating performance. Alexis Leclerc takes the Washougal National and takes with him arguably the biggest points haul he could have hoped for. As Colby Eagland finishes second, Tyler Lang is going to be third, and it's going to be 1-1 for Leclerc, 2-2 for Eagland, 3-3 for Tyler Lang. And Jeremy Seebold comes into this moto off of a 2-stroke, gets 22nd in the first moto, jumps back on a 450, seemingly has a little bit better of a time, and this time he'll be 4th in Moto 2. And here's the battle for 5th. Johnson launching into the sand over Caleb Hall. Gets him. Hall's going to fight back, though, with the power of the 4-stroke. Back through. Hall and Johnson just going at it. Hall to the inside. Johnson to the outside using that momentum. Hall is going to hold the line. Johnson's going to charge to the outside off track. Try to turn it to the inside right here. Hall holds him at bay. Johnson makes a small bobble. So here we go, coming to the flag. Johnson is going to win the 2-stroke overall, I think. Unless he really throws it away. But Caleb Hall is going to hold on for a top 5 finish in Moto 2. After 10th in Moto 1, so a pretty solid day. Johnson is going to go 4-6 to win the 2-stroke money. $200 just went in his pocket. Cooper Hunt ends up 7th. Castellaneta 8th, Sullivan 9th, and Frank Jackson is going to round out the top 10. So championship-wise, just to really quickly figure that out, Johnson leaves here 19 back of Leclerc with 6 motos to go. Unadilla, Butts Creek, and Ironman. Michonne ends up 11th. Noah Bindis goes 6-12 today. Very good effort for him. Matthias Janis will get 13th. Cocroft in 14th. Jack Mark will be 15th. He's the last guy on the lead lap. Jacob Hubbard was 16th. 17th for Jared Gummison. 18th for Dre Smith. 19th for Aaron Rockefeller. And Chase Blakely rounded out the top 20. So it looks like they have a Google Doc that they're using for the overalls here. And they're filling it out as they go. So I'll give you guys an update on the 2-stroke overalls and what the points payout was for everybody, or the payouts were for everybody, I should say, in just a minute, as we wait for one more rider still to finish up. But Leclerc, see those shiny red plates really look even shinier as we head into the long 2-week break. No racing in MX Simulator from now until August 9th. But we will be back here next week to restream the Southwick National, which missed because I was sick. So we'll do a rebroadcast of that race just for fun. We already mostly know what happened. I don't know what happened, but you guys maybe do. All right, penalties are in. Everything stayed the exact same as is. Leclerc takes the dub tonight here at Washougal. And a quick update on the two-stroke payout. Payson Johnson ends up going 1-1 in the two-stroke division for the $200. So he wins the $200 tonight. Cooper Hunt goes 3-2 for $100. Frank Jackson goes 2-4 for $60. Luke Sullivan goes 4-3 for $28. And it looks like Matthias Janis ended up going 6-5 to earn those $12. So that is total on the night. Johnson, Hunt, Jackson, Sullivan, Janis all winning some money from that two-stroke challenge. Fun stuff for that. Player taking that championship lead with him into this lengthy break. And that's going to do it for us tonight here on Start Your Systems, round 8 of the RaceFactory Gaming Nationals live here on Start Your Systems. Done and dusted from Washougal. Like I said, we will be back same time, same place next Wednesday for a restream of the Southwick National. Still have not done that as I was ill, like I said. So we'll get through that. We'll do all 4 motos for fun and just have a fun, chill Wednesday night commentating some races. I think A-Wood should be there, so will be a good time restreaming the 6th round. But from now until August 9th, Sim is on a break because Real Life Nationals will be taking a 2-weekend break for Loretta Lynn's. So just hanging out for a couple weeks. No racing the week after Southwick. So the week of Loretta's, I will be in Loretta's. There will be no racing. And yeah, then we'll be back on August 9th for the Unadilla National, bringing you guys the home stretch of this championship. Unadilla, Budds Creek, and Ironman to round it out. Quick shout out to Alex Efforts for the $5 donation in chat. Just saw that. Missed the stream, but assuming you got one of the whole shot guesses right, have a good night. I got none of them right, but thank you for the $5 anyway. And thank you to all of you for tuning in every single week. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. And everybody at RaceFactory Gaming and the RaceFactory Gaming track crew, thanks for putting on another great race for us. We'll see you guys next week to restream the Southwick National. Otherwise, enjoy your 2-week break as we send you off here tonight from Washougal. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. So long.